Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. So tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
About a 14% chance of a shower or two. We'll see sunshine tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. And then into the weekend, we have a little bit of a bigger chance for a rain shower. Nothing too major, though. Mm-hmm. Pretty excited. The NCAA tournament starts tonight.
Yeah.
I know you're excited, Aaron.
I am excited. How many games?
There are two games tonight.
Oh.
And 2 games tomorrow.
Okay.
And then that determines if those 4 that are on the fringe actually get into the actual tournament.
Oh, that's what this is. Okay.
Yeah, they were on the bubble. So we got a couple of slots for you guys. So you battle it out so you can make it into the 64, the final 64. The final 64 teams. There you go. Our time is 7:27.
Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, Sandy, good morning.
Good morning, Blake and Aaron. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Lovely Tuesday. All is good in paradise. Yes. All right. So let's look at a few news stories this morning. I got some good news stuff for you coming right up. All right.
Oh, good.
Let's start off with the not so good news. Yesterday morning, I think a lot of parents were disappointed to hear that Clifton Hunter High School had a bit of a AC issue that required all of their students to be picked up. So the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education Services advised parents yesterday morning that they had to pick up their children because there was a major underground leak in the pipes that carried chilled water to the air conditioning system to the school. Mm-hmm. So a bit of a sad situation. But in any event, it meant that all the students had to basically go home. The good news is classes resumed this morning. So everything should be hopefully relatively back to normal.
They got a snow day yesterday.
They did. Yeah. After they were already at school, which is very inconvenient for the parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, parents were not happy. Okay.
I mean, these things happen. It was beyond anybody's control. I get it.
Well, whack, quack, quack. We think it could have been controlled because they've been having AC problems since 2018.
Oh, okay.
Anywho.
Honey child.
6 years later, honey child, it still isn't fixed. All right. So
and that was when it was still brand new back in 2018.
Exactly, Aaron. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
okay. So we'll see. We shall see.
Somebody's losing their job today.
No, apparently not. Facilities manager. Keep on keeping on.
Who loses their jobs here? Name one person.
That's true.
Especially in government. All right, let's keep it moving. Okay. So we do have a man who was attacked and robbed in Georgetown. So this is a bit of a sad story. A man was attacked by 2 men and a woman.
Wow.
What? Like a gang?
I know. Had his wallet stolen on Fort Street on Sunday morning around 1 a.m. And officers attended the scene and spoke to the man. And he had some obvious injuries to his face and body. Ambulance had to transport him to the hospital where he is treated for what they say is non-life-threatening injuries. So he said that they attacked him and took his wallet with a quantity of cash in both KYD and USD, as well as a variety of bank cards was also stolen. So the police are investigating the matter. Anyone with information, please call them at 949-4222.
I don't carry cash anymore.
I know. I don't walk around with any cash at all.
I don't like coins. I don't carry cash.
Exactly.
When's the last time you used cash?
I don't.
I haven't used cash for anything.
Yeah.
Usually my kids need it for school stuff or
that's like or Civi Day or something or donation or something.
Yeah. There's always
something. So the National Roads Authority has said that significant upgrades to the traffic signal infrastructure were completed over the weekend. Enhancements including the replacement of all signal cabinetry and the addition of a backup power supply, ensuring that the traffic systems are more resilient and reliable.
Sure. Is that why we have 14-second stoplight yesterday?
However, wonk, 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 honey chill. However, the NRA encountered a minor setback yesterday morning due to the signal timing on the newly installed controller. They said that we're happy to, there's an explanation, and that means that they can fix it. So they say, we're happy to report that the issue was promptly identified and corrected by 7:45 a.m.
By what time?
7:45 a.m. Wow. They went on to say we extend their sincerest apologies to all commuters.
Over an hour.
I don't know how prompt that
2
is.
hours.
For any inconvenience experience, and appreciate your understanding as we continue to improve our road infrastructure. I'm actually going to give the NRA a big shout out because I don't know how many of you use that new J. Bodden extension, like takes you right to Camana Bay, West Bay Road area.
I've used it quite a few times.
Can I tell you that since they have installed that extension, every evening from probably about 3:30 onwards, the traffic by what is that road by CUC? Is that like right in front of CUC?
Sparky, yeah.
Is that Sparky or the side road? No, the side road is Sparky, right?
Mm-hmm.
The front road, the front end, like where the furniture store is, public works, all that stuff. That traffic would be backed up all the way to Georgetown Yacht Club. It was horrific. Now that congestion has disappeared since this new extension has opened up. Oh, yes. Every day I drive it, and, after 5 o'clock, I'm just like, wow, what a difference it has made.
Nice.
Anywho.
That's North Sound Road.
No, that's North Sound. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
I don't know.
Big shout out. Final news story of the day for you guys. Big shout out for Dejia Lyons. She has received the Princess Diana Legacy Award. Camanian. Woohoo.
Nice.
She received this last week for her outstanding work as an environmental activist and advocate. And she received it from none other than the prince himself.
Yeah, they were there doing that ceremony, right?
Yep.
That's cool.
So she has dedicated herself to working for a better future for her home, the Cayman Islands. And she says she hopes to create a future free of environmental destruction. Yeah. So she was invited back in 2021 to represent Cayman as the youth speaker at the Territories COP26 that took place in Glasgow. And she continues to do her work. And, she was actually recognized just last year being accepted to the Caribbean Climate Justice Academy. So good for her.
Very good. I'd like to hear that.
Environmental activist. Love it. Absolutely.
Good job on the youths.
Congratulations, young lady.
Yeah. We need.
We do need the youths.
Yes. Very, very good. All right, guys. You guys have a fantabulous day.
Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
All righty. And don't worry, to our listeners, we have way more news than that for y'all, honey child. We got a lot of stuff coming up here this morning, but drum roll, please. I tell y'all, I need to update my buttons, man. I need a drum roll button. I need a wonk, wonk, wonk button. Drum roll. That's my amateur drum roll. All right. Today is Tuesday, and y'all know what it means. Who can get? You know what? I feel so generous this week. I've been in a generous mode since last week, actually. Who can tell me what Tuesday is here on The Cold Hard Truth? Come on now. Let me see those phone lines light up. 936-2626. I'm not even going to tell y'all what's up for grabs? I just want you to guess. And this is so easy. This is so easy. This is like easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Come on now. I want to make sure y'all are awake. Look at that. Look at that. 2 seconds in. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning, honey child.
Is it Medical Tuesdays?
You're close with the name, but I need y'all to get it exactly right. 9362626. We say it every week. Y'all need to know the name by now, honey child. Good morning.
Medical Monday with Health City.
Medical what?
Medical is it Medical Rundown with Health City?
Oh yes. I thought you said Medical Monday because I was gonna say
Medical Tuesday with Health City. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's Tuesday, not Monday. Congratulations, young lady.
Hi, it's your girl.
Who is this? I'm not recognizing the voice.
Shirley.
Oh, Shirley. Well, let me put my hand. This is what I'm gonna do. Look you now. I'm gonna put my hand in my little virtual cauldron of prizes. Pull out a prize, and I see a gift certificate valued at $100. Ding 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 ding. 4. I'm gonna let you choose the store this morning. You got 2 choices. We can do Foster's or we can do Price Right. Which one would you prefer? Depends on how much toilet paper you need.
Price Right or Foster's?
Yes. Foster's. There you go, honey child. You're going to get you some groceries. Now, hold on a second. Let me take down your name. You see, all y'all have to do is pay attention just a little bit. Just a little bit on the program. Let me see here now. So we're going to take down your name. And then I am going to tell you.
And put my phone number down.
Yes. Yes. That's the most important thing because, child, I'll be forgetting.
This is your regular girl. I'm in class, but I'm quiet, listening very attentively.
I know. So many people just sit back and listen. All right, honey child. Congratulations. You got yourself some groceries.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. How is everybody else? Yes, you too. So how is everybody else doing? Yes, we have got the good folks over at Health City. They join us every Tuesday pretty much. Sometimes they take a little break, but most Tuesdays they're here straight up. So let's go ahead and check in with Shamari Scott first and foremost. Good morning, Shamari.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you doing?
Honey child. Let me just tell them we already have a winner. Hello. Yes.
They got the message.
Yes. We got a winner, folks. We got a winner, but you gotta have, first of all, have the number on speed dial. So have it saved in your phone. 9362626. And you know what the great thing is? You can save it in favorites. That's like speed dial. Put it in your favorites. We know CMR is your favorite. So go ahead and put it in favorites. And then anytime you need to call us, you press it one time and you're good to go.
Definitely.
Morning. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. It's another great week because I'm in that over 40 league and the dream team.
Look at
we are now
Look at
5-0. I'm still, even though the game's on Saturday, I'm still walking a little gingerly, but so it goes when it's the over 40 league. So we haven't lost a game as yet.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So we're in the playoffs.
You guys are in the playoffs already?
Yeah, we're in the playoffs, but we're the number 1 seed, so we get a bye for 2 weeks, which should help us all recover, and then we'll be in the semifinals and then the finals after that. So
okay, so how many teams are there for the over 40 league?
6 teams. Yeah,
nice.
6
teams.
That's good. So some good activity. It's the old national, or we have players from our old national on the 14, on the 16, on the 18 team that make enough guys that we can rotate week by week after somebody else gets injured,
Very good. All right. Very good. Excellent.
So today is exciting because once again, the one thing about healthcare is there are a lot of observance days, there are a lot of observance months, but this always gives us the opportunity to raise awareness about different areas. And this month happens to be colorectal cancer awareness month. And we are very, very honored to have Dr. Manoj with us. He's our senior consultant for surgical gastroenterologist here with us at Health City. He has over a decade of experience. And because of the month, it's really our pleasure to have him with us. You know, with us, obviously, both men and females can get colorectal cancer. But I think at times, you know, us men don't do as good of a job of having all of our checkups, such as women do. And if it develops and it continues without actually having treatment and the such, then it can become very serious very quickly. And just like everything else we're always discussing, Sandy and Dr. Manoj will be able to go into it. You know, when the risk factors are age, you know, that definitely means it's something that when you reach a certain age with certain screenings, and Dr. Manoj will going into that will help you to either catch it early or for you to get on the right track from your diet, alcohol consumption, et cetera, to give yourself the best probability of not having issues in this area. But welcome to Dr. Manoj.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Manoj. So,
good morning, Chandra. Good morning, Shamari. Thank you.
Yes, how are you? It's so nice to have you in the program again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so this is really important, especially for me, because I have been trying to get in there to do my colonoscopy and having a little bit of timing woes, but I'm going to get it done hopefully in the next month. But yes, this is one of those things that Dr. Manoj, I think we'll get into some details this morning, but preventable in the sense that if you do regular and routine testing, you can catch any early signs. So we'll talk about the importance of that obviously here this morning. But tell us, to start off, what is colorectal cancer?
Cancer is a disease where the cells replicate in an unorganized fashion, and it leads to the growth of cells, which are normally the cells in our body. There's a control mechanism which enables them to grow only in a certain fashion. However, in cancers, that a particular regulation is lost, after which the tumor grows in an unchecked manner. This leads to cancer. So the colorectal cancer is the cancer of the large intestine or the colon, and it's a large organ. It consists of the cecum, the right colon, the transverse colon, and the left colon, sigmoid, and the rectum. So the colorectal cancer encompasses all these, the entire organ actually. And it is the fourth leading cause of death amongst men, and the thirdly, it's vice versa. It's thirdly leading cause of death in men, and the fourth leading cause of death in women.
Wow. So something to be obviously taken seriously, without a doubt.
Yes. Yeah, definitely, yes.
All right. So, wow. Okay. Let's talk about some of the risk factors, because as with most things, that there are known risk factors. Some you can do something about and some that you can't. But let's talk a little bit about what those are.
Yeah. So the risk factors are, we can divide them into non-modifiable and modifiable risk factors. So age, as we all age, there is there are certain the normal regulatory mechanisms which keep the cell cycle or the cell replication in check. They are lost. So age is a the foremost non-modifiable risk factor, and of course the family history. If the first degree relative is anyone of the first degree relative has had a colorectal cancer, then it's likely that your risk is also increased. The other non-modifiable risk factor is the diabetes, type 2 diabetes, especially because insulin, high levels of insulin is trophic, or it sees to that the colorectal cancer cells grow. So that's another risk factor. And the non-modifiable modifiable risk factors are obesity. So as the body mass index increases, as the weight increases, it is seen that the risk it increases the risk of colorectal cancer. And red meats, they especially the beef, the pork, they all increase the risk of colorectal cancer. And fruits and vegetables are seen to decrease the risk of colorectal cancer. And smoking and alcohol are other leading causes of the colorectal cancer.
One quick question about the diet. So some of these are obvious, and then there's some that we could probably dig into just a little bit more. Oh, we have a caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
It's not a question,
okay,
Sandra. It's we can't hear the doctor. We hear you, we hear Shamari, but not him.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think, I don't know if you can get any closer, Doc, to your you might be using a computer, but if you can get maybe a little bit closer. Thank you, caller. If you can get a little bit closer to the mic source, people, I think specifically on radio, are having an issue hearing you. So let's see if we can fix that. Oddly enough, I can hear you, but I guess so.
Okay. You can hear me, can't you, Sandra?
I mean, but of course, I'm not the one who probably needs to hear you quite as much as our listeners. But yeah, just try to maybe speak up a bit, and then we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, Doc, I was going to say to you that, let's delve into some of these a little bit deeper. When it comes to your diet, we know that there's specific things in a person's diet that can contribute. So one of the things I see in the little photo here is like the little wiener wrapped like almost like a hot dog or whatever. We know that processed meats in particular, so sandwich meats, cold cuts, hot dog meats, those types of things have a specific link, if you will, to certain types of cancers, and this is one of them. What do we know about that?
Hello. Is this any better?
Yes. I was going to just say that lapel mic, if you had it, is critical.
All right.
Yes.
I've just been given the mic now.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much. So so let's talk about these processed meats and why they're such a concern.
Yeah, these processed meat have certain chemicals, especially when the meats are all like barbecued or smoked. They release certain chemicals, which kind of alter the cell cycle, and they can result in the cancers.
All right. Smoked meats, I mean, I know we've talked about it a number of times here on this program, or something that you should use or eat in, extreme moderation. Now, I know here in the Caribbean, our favorite type of smoked meat is jerk meat. So what is your advice for people who love barbecuing and they love smoked meat? Is there any sort of safe amount? Can I eat it like once a week and not be too concerned? Or what are we talking about in terms of increased risk?
There are no studies, as far as I know, as to the amount of the smoked meat or the barbecued or any of the processed meats that are that one can allow, so as to not develop the colorectal cancers. However, the key is moderation, and perhaps have a smaller portion, and maybe far apart, maybe once a week or less than once a week. I think that should be all right.
Sandy, you're trying to take away my happiness. I don't know why you're asking that question, but I'm glad with your response, Dr. Manoj.
Yeah. So cutting back, they say
the other thing is, I think we can always, along with these jerk meats, we can add a lot of vegetable to it, and so that kind of balances it out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So the recommendation, according to the NHS, is 70 grams or less per day. So, and then look at the ingredients. Isn't it pretty important to look at the ingredients and see what's in the hot dogs? There are healthier versions of some of these meats as well. Dr. Manoj is not the dietitian here, the nutritionist, but it's good advice nonetheless. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. How are you?
I'm okay. I had a question either for the doctor or for Shamari. We hear this a lot, talking about, certain things increase our risk for getting certain types of cancer. And I think that it is important. Is there a way for Health City to test, or anybody to test, what would have been your risk for getting a certain type of cancer, even if you didn't eat those things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I'm no physician here, but I do know that there are risk assessment tools. In fact, what I'll do is, because it's not specifically related to this, and Dr. Manoj can certainly talk about risk assessment specific to colorectal cancer, but there is one actually in relation to breast cancer that I want to talk about here this morning. So there are doctor risk assessment tools, and that's why it's important to come and speak to your physician, such as yourself, so that you can get an idea of how healthy a person is, right?
But why I ask, Sandra, is because we'll hear, all right, if I eat certain foods for a certain length of time, my risk for whatever might go up 50%, right?
Right.
Now, but let's say that my chance of getting a particular type of cancer, I mean, unless I'm misunderstanding it, and I'm open to being, open to learning. But how I understand it, if let's say that my risk of getting a particular type of cancer was already 2%, and if something increases my risk of getting cancer by 50%, I mean, that only raises my chance of getting that cancer up now by 3%, as opposed to if I
don't know that it can be such a precise science. I think you're looking for precision,
right,
and that probably doesn't exist. But look at it this way. If you have, in this case, what is this, 6-7 factors that are known risk factors: age, family history, obesity, whatever, right? You can't do anything about your age. Obviously, we can't reverse that. You can probably do very little about family history, but all of the other things on here, to some extent, you can control. So obesity, poor diet, alcohol, maybe not history of inflammatory bowel disease, because I don't know what causes that, but type 2 diabetes. So you've got at least 4 out of 7 things on the list that you have some direct control over. So if you can reduce those to a minimal, like if you have, a great diet, you don't consume alcohol, you don't ever get type 2 diabetes, you're well on your way to trying to control what you can control, because there will always be factors, right, that you have zero control over. Yeah. So I think that you do what you can do, and you appreciate what components of your health you have control over. And then outside of that, what I would say, and I'm sure Dr. Manoj would agree, is the next best thing is routine and regular checkups to catch anything as early as possible. Because a lot of these things are treatable. Now, caller, I know that you're probably a man of a particular age. Have you started to think about your colonoscopy? Have you hit 45 yet?
Not as yet.
All right. So you gotta start thinking about it, because it takes us a minute to work up to the fact that we actually need to have these things done. Because I know a lot of people like, oh man, Sandy, I know I need to do it, but I'm scared, or might take you a couple years to try to overcome the fear. So start ruminating the idea in your brain that you're gonna have to get it done, and I'm gonna be doing it here shortly. and I'll report back to everybody. But I've heard it's going to be just fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. 936-2626. I'm glad that these things get us to thinking, Doc, about, what are the things that I can control? It's hard to control age, obviously, family history. Tell us a little about this inflammatory bowel disease. What exactly is that?
Inflammatory bowel disease is a spectrum of diseases, and you have various types in that, and various grades and severity. Broadly, we can classify them as in ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. So these diseases, they cause inflammation of the bowel, and Crohn's especially, it causes inflammation of the entire bowel, including a small bowel, the stomach, and all the other gastrointestinal organs. However, ulcerative colitis is limited mostly to colitis, and especially the rectum. So these diseases have been seen to increase the risk of colorectal cancer quite significantly, and they can place a person in the high risk category, especially after 10 years of onset of inflammatory disease. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So funny enough, somebody was just asking the question of whether or not IBS/colitis cause colon cancer. So you didn't mention IBS, but you did mention
IBS is a different entity. It's called irritable bowel syndrome. It's a functional syndrome. It's a completely different condition, and should not be associated with inflammatory bowel disease at all.
Yes. And I suffer from IBS a little bit. So yeah, not fun. It's like sometimes you just have the worst possible tummy ache. So that's interesting. So that answers that person's question. So what do you do then if you have colitis? What can you do to try to offset the extra risk that's associated with colorectal cancer?
So since the 90s, it has been seen that the risk of colorectal cancer has significantly reduced, and that is because of good screening programs. So it is vital that once at least once a person is diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease, 10 years later, within sometimes, it all depends on the severity, the colonoscopy needs to be done, and it has to be repeated quite frequently. In a for the colonoscopy screening guidelines tell us that, if you're an average risk or more than average risk and high risk. So average risk is any person who is over and above 45. And the more than average risk is the ones with familial syndromes, such as familial adenomatous polyposis and Lynch syndrome and various other syndromes. And the high risk are the ones with inflammatory bowel disease. So in high risk, in people with high risk disease, it is recommended that the colonoscopy, that is the visualization of the colon via the endoscopy, is done every year or at least once in 3 years, depending on the severity. So the screening guidelines change with the risk of the disease or the magnitude of the risk. So like in average, it is once in 10 years. And, with the people with more than average risk is maybe 3 to 5 years. And the ones in high risk is 1 to 3 years. So with this, it has been seen that we can prevent colorectal cancer because we can detect the cancer earlier, at an earlier stage, even before it can turn into a malignancy. So what happens is there's always there's a sequence called the adenoma carcinoma sequence, where it is first benign disease, meaning it's not cancer, it's not something which spreads to other organs, and then slowly it changes, it turns rogue. The cells turn rogue, and then it turns into cancer. It has been seen that in the people with high risk, that tendency is hastened. Whereas in an average person, in a person with average risk, it's much slower. So a colonoscopy once in 10 years should be good enough.
Wow, very good. So that's why when we talk about prevention and early detection with this particular cancer, it's one of the ones that definitely there's some signs in the colon beforehand. So fantastic. All right, so we have a few questions coming in. Good morning to everyone. My apologies. Everton, well, I'll get to you after this segment. Damon says sugar is addictive. The more you eat, the more you want. Thus, food manufacturers add sugar to make people want to eat more and buy. In relation to that, Miss Chantel says eat a plant-based diet. That's best. Even if you can't do 100% plant-based, the more plant-based you do, obviously, the better. And Sonia also says, parents, please try to raise your kids without sugar or less sugar so that when they're grown, it's easy to avoid sweets and raise your kids without sugar. Sugar is the devil. No good. And Sonia, to Damien's point, sugar is hidden in so many foods. Do you know that, for example, ketchup has high concentrations of sugar? Any kind of sauces like ketchup, barbecue sauce, all that kind of stuff is loaded with sugar. Ronaldo says it's the nitrates in processed meats that is believed to cause cancer. And there are versions, like I said, of that where you can get it with no preservative and no nitrates. So perhaps a healthier option. Damien picked up on the point about barbecue sauce and ketchup as well. Absolutely right. They are very, very much loaded with sugar. And this listener has a question about fruits. So they say, how does eating fruits fight cancer if they're full of sugar? So the difference is when you're eating fruits, you're getting the good stuff. I mean, they have natural sugars, but you're actually getting the good stuff, which is the fiber, right, Doc?
Yeah, it's always good to eat fruits and not juice them, because juicing them only gives you, then it's just water and sugar and maybe some flavor. However, eating the fruits gives us the benefit of having the fiber, and these fibers, they release certain chemicals, the compounds called the short chain fatty acids, which play a vital role in the maintenance and the upkeep of the colon, the cells of the inner lining of the colon. So they're quite essential, and they are trophic, or meaning they give life to these cells. So it's quite essential that we eat the fruits and not juice them.
Okay. And that's great advice, because there's so many of us who get onto these sort of dietary phases where everybody had a juicer back in the day. And I think they're still widely popular. And of course, smoothies, and this is something that I've been trying to really cut back on. Smoothies kind of is a form of juicing when you think about what it is that you're doing, and you're extracting all of the nutrients. So yeah, everybody's like, oh, have a green juice. It's like, okay, how about just eat your vegetables? The best way to get the nutrients that you need is actually by eating your food, not by juicing it or trying to drink it in any form whatsoever. So these are, popular culture is sending one message, but the medical advice and the nutritional advice a lot of times can be very, very different. And the fact as well, Doc, I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong, we talk about sugar control. One of the issues with juicing your foods or even drinking a smoothie is you are taking that liquid, sugar that you again extracted from the fruit, and it's going directly pretty much into your bloodstream. There's no process of digesting it, and your stomach doesn't get to do any of that work extracting it for you. So you also get it at a faster level when you juice a fruit as opposed to eating it.
Yeah, so juicing fruits, essentially you're kind of processing it already. You're doing the part which the gut is intending to do. So say for example you have a banana, and that contains sugar as well as a lot of fiber and various other nutrients. Now the gastrointestinal system has to work on it. I mean, if you're eating it, it has to work on it. It has to the enzymes act on it. Amylase acts on it, and kind of and the acid in the stomach, they break down the fruit into finer particles, and those get absorbed, so leaving only the fiber behind. And the fiber enters the colon, and there where the colonocytes, or the cells of the inner lining of the colon, use those short chain fibers. Those are called soluble fibers. They're lignins and pectins, and they are processed into short chain fatty acids, which the colonocytes use for their upkeep. So now, by juicing them, you are essentially removing all the fiber, and it's just the sugar and a bit of flavor it's in the liquid form. So once it enters the gastrointestinal system, and the system need not process it, it just gets directly absorbed, and that results in an insulin spike. And insulin spike is known to add, we gain a lot of weight because of the insulin spikes, and as well as it is over a long period, or a long run, it is detrimental to the health of the colon.
Wow. Okay, very good advice, folks. Excellent. Some great questions. Good morning to Miss Ethel. The hardest part, says Paul, of the colonoscopy was drinking that nasty tasting drink which flushes your colon before the procedure. So yes, I have heard that as well. So folks, the takeaway here in terms of your diet is cut back on those juices and smoothies. I used to do smoothies, like I love me a smoothie. And so I hardly, for more reasons than one actually, I hardly touch a smoothie anymore. I maybe once every couple months now, where I was doing it like 3-4 times a week. All right, so let's talk about screening, because of course screening is very, very important. So what are some of the things that we need to be looking at? But before we get to that, let's talk about what are some of the symptoms. So how do you know that you might have colorectal cancer, or something is going on in that region that you need to be most concerned about?
Yeah. So the essentially the idea of screening is to pick up tumors before they turn into cancers. That's the whole idea of screening, and that is the reason why the incidence of colorectal cancer has been decreasing because of effective screening programs. However, if we have to look at the symptoms can be quite insignificant, or it could be quite constitutive symptoms, meaning you just have some weight loss, unexplained weight loss, or maybe you just have are listless most of the time. So that's because of you may be having an undetected anemia. So especially in males over 45, and if their hemoglobin is low, meaning they are having anemia, so they need to be screened. It's most likely that they are losing blood in their stool, and it may not be in detectable amounts, and so that's when the test called as fecal occult blood testing that needs to be done. So there are various ways of testing for occult blood in the stool. So one is the fecal occult blood test. Then you have the immunochemical tests and DNA test, which tests the cancer cells, the DNA of cancer cells. So these are the tests. These are quite easy. You don't need to undergo a colonoscopy. So this tells us that a person is losing blood in their stool, and once it is positive, it has to be done for 3 consecutive days, because it is seen that the tumor cells bleed intermittently. So if one of them you do 3 times on 3 consecutive days, and if one of them even is positive, then it demands a colonoscopy. So this, as I said already, the screening needs to be done in 3 categories. So The symptoms can be quite trivial and it should not be neglected. However, more specific symptoms are any recent alteration in the bowel habits, like, throughout your life you're having a certain rhythm in the bowel movement, say maybe once a day or once in 2 days, and then all of a sudden in the last 6 months or 3 months, say, you have changed, that the bowel habits have changed. Say, your bowels are moving once in 3 days or 4 days, or even sometimes once in 3 or 4 times a day. So the recent alteration in the bowel movements is one indication of you could be harboring a colorectal cancer. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, weight loss. Then these are symptoms of advanced, unexplained weight loss, and these are symptoms of advanced cancer.
Yes. So let's I'm going to just throw out a little bit of information just as an FYI for our listeners. Apparently, there's new research that actually shows that colorectal cancer is on the increase in younger people, and that's why the age has been adjusted from 50, because they initially said screening starting at age 50 with your first colonoscopy. It's actually been moved down to 45. And so they're looking at some of the reasons why there seems to be an increase in younger folks. And unfortunately, I hate to tell you, but most of it is really connected to lifestyle choices. So some of the exact same things that Dr. Manoj was talking about here this morning.
It's possible that is because of unhealthy lifestyle choices, but it's more so because of the screening programs. In it used to be, everyone over and above 50 or 55 was screened, and the early cancers, or even the polyps, or those are the benign tumors which eventually convert to cancers. They were picked up, and so it's essentially relative. The incidence of cancers in the elderly, or even and in the middle age, in the more than in the people more than 50, 55, they were picked up, and eventually, it's a relative thing. So the incidence of the cancer in the younger people has shown increase in that way. So there is a relative decrease. Are you picking up cancers in the elderly and in the middle-aged? And so there are no screening programs in the young. So that's how so I think it's more apparent than actual real increase. However, yes, the health lifestyle and the dietary lifestyle has changed significantly with more and more of processed foods, and of course, possibly there could be that those could be implicated. Yeah.
Okay, we do have a caller in the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
I have a question, doctor. I've been I'm soon going to be 70, and I had 2 appointments to get the colonoscopy because I have a grand aunt. That's my mother aunt that died with it. And, I would say, it's in the family because she was my mother aunt, my mother's sister. But, I know they say that it's strange in women, but my issue is 2 times, that's when I want my 5th is, and in like 5 months time, I'll be 70. And I've never had one, but they suggested I had it. But the 2 times that I was supposed to have it, what happened is I had developed a flu, and they said, cough, and they cannot put you because they have to put you under. You have to go under anesthesia to do it.
Yes.
And they say that they couldn't do it with the cough because it could cause problems. So they rescheduled me, but then it happened the 2nd time. So I said, it looked like I wasn't supposed to get it. And then they were supposed to reschedule me, but they never ever did. So now last year, Dr. Cummins suggests that I should have one. But my issue is, doctor, that solution that they give you, they gave me 6 packets. And I am a person that I have a very sensitive stomach. I cannot force anything after a certain amount of time. And I could only drink 3 packets. And when I went to see the anesthesiologist and everything, and when I went in the morning in preparation now to do the colonoscopy, they asked me if I had drink the prep. And I mean, I didn't tell a lie, which I guess sometimes telling the truth don't help, because when I told the nurse that I only could drink 3 because I couldn't drink, and she said, well, why? I said, because if I had forced it, I would throw out everything, because that's how I am. I cannot force nothing. Once I get enough or something, I cannot force it, because I'm going to bring everything back up. I cannot drink antibiotics, like, you know, the powder with pills, because I could manage problems. Like if they give me a week to take antibiotics, I maybe could get them down for like 3 days, but by the 4th day, I'm going to start throwing them out. So that's how I am. And I told him, I said, and she said, well, she don't think the doctor was going to do it. So then she called the doctor, and then he asked if I had drink it, all of it, and she told him no, and then they canceled it. But then I have my sisters live in the U.S., and my sister was telling me that she don't understand why they give you so much in the Cayman Island, because over there they only give you one little bottle, and that's sufficient to, like, you know, like clean your bubbles. And I say, well, then I don't want. Maybe I could manage with the one bottle, but I couldn't take all this other thing. So then, I didn't get it.
I have a common response for you, and then we'll get the medical expert response. It's probably that Caymanians are a bit more full of fill in the blank. No, Doc, is there acceptable? I mean, I guess maybe I don't know the size of the bottle that they're giving in the States, but is there an acceptable amount? And why her question then is basically, why do they give you? Thank you, caller, for the question. Why do they give you so much of the cleansing liquid?
Colonoscopy demands that the entire inner lining of the colon needs to be cleansed thoroughly clean, because small lesions, small polyps, or even small ulcers, when they need to be picked up, the surface has to be, squeaky clean, if I can say it that way. So it's essential that we purge the gut completely, clean of all the stool material, just to show so that we can visualize the entire gut. As far as the various medications for this process, one of them actually include. One of them is the polyethylene glycol, which needs to be had in large amounts. But however, there are phosphate and various other compounds which can be had in smaller amounts. Yeah, so you can ask your doctor that you are intolerant of having a lot of these cleansing fluid, in which case they would prescribe an alternative.
All right, these are some excellent questions here this morning. 9362626. Shaka Zulu says the caller is correct about the one little bottle administered in the U.S. It's interesting. I wonder what their protocols are there. But again, the doctor said it's very, very important to have the entire colon as clean as possible, so that, because I'm guessing how big are these polyps? Like, what size are we talking about here?
Polyps can vary in size, right from, it can be picked up right from the size of a millimeter, extremely small, to 5 millimeters or 10 millimeters. As the size increases, it is seen that the incidence of cancer also increases. Yeah. So it's best that they be picked up as early as possible when with the small size, and also there are certain characters of any characteristics of any of these polyps, which put them into high risk. There are various modes in colonoscopy when the different kinds of light beams there's something called narrowband imaging, infrared imaging. So these tell us, these give us, and also the microendoscopy, so where we can visualize the tumor as such, under magnification. So this helps us, in classifying the polyps. Some of the polyps can be benign, in meaning they do not ever convert into cancers, and some of them, like they call hyperplastic polyps. They're just due to just like skin tags, so they do not convert into cancers. However, there are certain polyps called adenomas. These adenomas are, as they increase in size, there is a high likelihood that they can turn into cancer.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, I just wanted to explain to him, and I am quite aware, sir, that they say that your colon has to be directly clean for them to get a good reading, because the same thing happened to my husband when he went and they had to do his over. But what I'm saying, when I first started to drink the thing that I was having the bubble moments, yes, I was in Merkel looking stuff and whatever, right? But after I drank like the second pack, then when I go to the back to have bubble moment, it was just like clear water, just like you had opened a pipe. So I would consider that, well, I was completely clean, and they still wouldn't give it to me. So like, I don't know what else to do, and I'm concerned.
Can I suggest, caller, maybe you should go and have a consult with Dr. Minaj, and he can assist you with this specific concern, because I'm sure.
Yeah, but if they're not gonna make me do it, because I'm under cynical. I don't have money, and they can do it hospital, and they don't want to pay for what they can do. So this is the problem with me. If I had the money that I could afford it, I would go somewhere else, because I said it must be something else that they can do without having to drink this pile of stuff if they can't drink it.
Yeah.
But then they're not gonna want to pay. You understand? Because once they got doctors hospital that can do it, because Dr. Argent Matthew could do it, they're not gonna want to pay. So that's my problem. And like I say, I will soon be 70. And my sister just had one. She was 80. My older sister was 80 on the 11th of this month. And she just had one done in Florida. And she was good. But she said, no, she's not going to do no more, because she's soon probably be ready to dead or whatever. So that's it. But hers was good.
Yeah. All right, caller. I don't know. You have to speak to your primary physician. There's probably something that can be done, but I mean, at the end of the day, doc, the patient can't determine for themselves whether or not the colon is clean enough, right? That's for the doctor to determine. Let me ask you a question in relation to that. Somebody said that she could try getting a referral from HSA to HCCI. That is certainly an option. Someone is asking the question, like, have you ever gone in and made the observation that, okay, the colon isn't clean enough, so we need to redo it, or most times is it clean enough?
It has been from time to time we do see the colons that are not completely purged, in which case it is the readings or the colonoscopy findings are less than optimal. So that's when we can grossly determine, we can we would be able to visualize a big tumor. However, as I said, the small polyps, the adenomas, which are 1 millimeter to 5 millimeter, or even 1 centimeter, they need to be if they need to be seen, then the colon needs to be quite clean. So it's going to be a suboptimal examination if the bowel is not, if the large intestine is not fully cleansed.
All right. Another question says, can the appearance of your stool, aside from blood in the stool, provide any warning signs? So like color, size, texture, or any of those things, something that you could be watching out for signs with the colon?
If it's an overt bleed, yeah, of course, if it's something, the blood which is seen with the naked eye, then definitely it demands medical attention, be it cancer or even otherwise, because something is bleeding inside that needs to be taken care of. Otherwise you end up with anemia, and if it is cancer, then definitely it could be advanced. So that should never be neglected. And the other thing is
the more importantly is the occult blood, which is not seen with the eye. However, you're still bleeding in small amounts, and which can only be tested with the occult blood testing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So of course you want to make sure that colon is as clean as possible, so you can pick
the other
up
thing is consistency. Sometimes consistency or the caliber of stool, especially if it is the lower rectal cancers, which cause narrowing of the opening. It's just above the anal opening. So if it causes significant narrowing, then the caliber of stool could get narrow, and it's also seen that lower rectal cancers and the anal cancers, they're quite painful. So painful defecation, especially with intermittent bleeding and smaller caliber of stool, that definitely should be immediately taken care of medically. Yeah.
All right, folks. So again, important to follow your doctor's advice. Do your best with doing the pre-cleansing. So very good. All right. So let's now talk about some of the treatments for, depending on this says here, the stage of cancer. Let's talk about some of the treatments. So the idea, obviously, you've been saying is very, very important, the screening, so that they can go in there, have a look at the polyps and have those removed, because that's what then develops into the cancer. So you've got stage 0. What is stage 0 cancer?
These are even before, these are stages, it's essentially benign tumors like adenomas, as I said. So these are, they can eventually develop into cancers. So stage 0 is the benign adenomas, and also there's something called carcinoma in situ, meaning, see, when a cancer develops, it's initially it's all the cell changes its nature and it starts replicating, multiplying, but it multiplies only in its own region. So once it starts moving, starts infiltrating, starts getting into deeper tissues, that's when it's called invasive cancer. So before it turns into invasive cancer, that's what we call the stage 0. So any benign adenomas or carcinoma in situ, these are all the stage 0 cancers. Yeah.
All right, very good. So different types of treatments depending on the different types of the different stages as well. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We have Diamond Princess asking, can hemorrhoids lead to cancer? So what exactly are hemorrhoids?
Hemorrhoids are at the junction of the anal canal and the rectum. So what happens is, the colon, as it goes all around, and then it gets, the last part of the colon is called the rectum. Rectum is where all the stool eventually comes to lie once all the water is absorbed. So that's when we feel the urge to defecate. And then it is eliminated, the stool is eliminated via the anal canal. So at the junction of the rectum and the anal canal, there lie what are called as anal cushions, and these are essentially the blood vessels, which it's called venous sinuses. So the blood can get pooled over there, and over a period of time, as we all age, the anal cushions increase in size because the vessels inside dilate, and of course with constipation and repeated defecatory attempts or straining during the stool, it increases the size of those anal cushions, and those lead to hemorrhoids, and those blood vessels are quite fragile, and they can open up, and they can cause bleeding. So those are hemorrhoids, and it's although the exact incidence is not known, it's very, very low. I don't think I haven't seen any hemorrhoids leading to cancers. And hemorrhoids is a completely different entity. It's a benign disease, but however, it needs to be taken care of, either medically or surgically.
All right. So we have Stephanie asking the following question. Not sure if this has been asked or not. Are there any risk of tearing the colon lining while performing the colonoscopy? So let's talk about, what actually happens during the procedure? Somebody else did ask that question as well. How does this work?
Yeah. So after the cleansing of the bowel, a patient comes in and the patient is given a sedation. It's not a full anesthesia. So it's a deep sedation, and the patient lies in the lateral position or to one side, and the endoscope. It's about a meter or little. I think it's 2 meters. Yeah. So that is inserted through the anal canal, and it passes through the entire colon. So there is a camera. In the face on the end of the colonoscope, and that is visualized on the TV screen. So the entire colon needs to be seen thoroughly, and as well as the last part of the small intestine. Yes, there is a risk of it's not tear exactly. It's minor trauma to the inner lining of the colon. They are quite common, and the minor trauma, they result in a small punctate bleeding spots, or even just a contusion, but that's okay. However, major trauma to the bowel wall, entire bowel wall giving way, they do occur, but the incidence is quite low, maybe in the scale of between somewhere 1 in 500 or 1 in 1,000. So however, the benefits far outweigh the risk of suffering from trauma due to colonoscopy.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I see some more questions. Miss Cora has a comment. She says, I had my first routine colonoscopy done last year at Health City. Surprisingly, it was a pleasant experience. And now I have no fear in getting it repeated in another 10 years. So is it every 10 years or every 5 years? How often if you get one?
If a person is in the average risk, the first colonoscopy is absolutely normal, and then you just need another one in 10 years. Suppose the first colonoscopy has detected a polyp or an adenoma, then definitely it needs to be repeated frequently, somewhere between 3 to 5 years.
Okay. Andrea says that she had hers done last year and it was easy. We have Miss Chantel says that her son has it. I'm assuming that means colon cancer, and he's only 39. So again, the importance of paying attention to your body and watching definitely some of the early warning signs. And just a reminder, things you can do to reduce your risk with not only colon cancer, but all cancers across the board and so many other health issues: regular and routine exercise, maintaining a healthy weight, avoid smoking. They should really go from saying limit alcohol consumption to eliminate, but I know for most of you, it's going to be hard to hear that E word. So they leave it to limit for now. Eat a high fiber diet, reduce or eliminate processed foods, and get enough calcium and vitamin D. Anne says, Miss Sandy, good morning. Can you ask him what about cysts in the home? What is cysts? I don't know what that is. Anne, maybe if you could clarify something in the home. I'm not quite sure what cyst is. Cyst. Yeah, just maybe retype that for me. Maybe that was a typo or something. And we can squeeze your question in. So folks, another fabulous segment here, chock full of information. Cysts in the womb. Oh, okay. Cysts in the womb. What does that increase colon cancer risk? What are we talking about? Like fibroids or what? I don't know what cysts in the womb is even. But
I don't know if she means an ovarian cyst, because that's they're not exactly in the womb or the uterus. It's adjacent to the uterus on either side. There is an entity called one of the syndromes that I mentioned, Lynch syndrome. They have a tendency, it's a syndromic cancer where you can have colorectal cancers, endometrial cancers, ovarian, breast. So those once a person is detected with this kind of a genetic abnormality, they need to be screened regularly for all these cancers. However, in the general population, there is no relation between these two entities.
Okay. Very good. So folks, contact, I can tell you I've already started the process of scheduling mine. So I did meet with the anesthesiologist last week. Remind me, Shamari, of his name again. He was so incredibly pleasant.
Yeah, he's great as well, Dr. Dhruva.
Yes. So he was, explained the entire process to me, went over my risk assessment, no concerns. So we're gonna get it done. I've actually just reminded myself, I just sent an email to say, can we look at booking me for these dates? Because I got to clear my calendar the day before to be able to do the drinking. So get it all cleansed so we can have a good reading. So doctor, thank you so much. Very, very informative. And as you can see, our audience was extremely engaged and asking a lot of really fantastic questions. Shamari?
Yeah. No, definitely. And also to remind people to mention those with Afro descent. Typically, well, now that I see the age has gone up to 45, before it was 50, and it was 45 for those with Afro descent. I don't know, Doc, if that has gone down further for those with Afro descent, or it's still 45 for us men
it's 45 across the board. Yes, it's 45.
Yeah. Oh. So get on it, folks. Yep. I'm already 5 years late, but gonna get in there next month.
So definitely, anybody has any questions or would like to speak to Dr. Manoj, 640-4040 info@healthcity.ky. And Sandy, thank you for another great morning. And remember, medical rundown, like Caymanian rundown. So that's why we call it medical rundown. And you didn't even notice which mug I was drinking from today.
Mug
Sandy.
On display. Wonderful. Love it, love it. Anna Marie says, thanks.
You need to get bigger mugs, though.
I know.
You need to get bigger mugs
and stuff as well.
Because this one's a little bit too small for me.
You need a big cup of coffee. Anna Marie says, thanks, Sandra, for having this informative forum. So again, folks, every Tuesday, pretty much, they take a little summer break, but every Tuesday you can come here and, find all these amazing discussions on your health and well-being. And sometimes they even allow, Shamari is great with this. He allows a lot of the NPOs who do amazing work in our communities to come on, and, he sponsors their slot and stuff as well. So thank you to Health City, Cayman Islands. Knowledge is power. And that's why I'm here every day trying to keep you all in the loop, trying to keep you informed about what is going on. Stephanie, thank you so much. She says that they need to serve that colon cleansing drink at all the bars in Cayman. On that note, thank you, Shamari. And thank you to Dr. Manoj.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you,
guys
Shamari.
next time.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm sure he's off now to probably do a couple of those colonoscopy procedures. Now, folks, let's be very, very clear here, because I want y'all to know that there is an increased risk, and they have been monitoring colorectal cancers now for some time, and the risk has gone up. So here's what they're now saying, right? So this is just FYI. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force recommends regular screening should now begin at the age of 45. So it used to be 50. They put it down to 45. But apparently, even with that recommendation, 1 in 3 eligible adults are not being screened as recommended. This is according to the American Cancer Society. So look at it this way. You can be screened and take preventative measures. Why wouldn't you is the question. Don't let the fear of anything get in your way. So that caller was talking about, the fear of, I can't drink the liquid. Listen, I'm afraid of having the procedure, and I'm still going to get it done, because oftentimes there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So I'm sure you've drank worse stuff in your life, and you probably ate stuff that made your tummy upset and whatever. Just buckle down and get it done. So, it's important because, again, the risk is definitely there. Here's something else. This, again, was a quote coming out of some more recent research. Colorectal cancer is rapidly shifting to diagnosis at a younger age, says the authors of the American Cancer Society report just released last year. Just last year. Since the mid-1990s, cases among people under 50 has increased by about 50%. To me, that's shocking. So now it's considered one of the deadliest cancers in that age group. Wow. 50% increase since the 1990s in younger people. So as usual, I'm going to give you guys the source data so you can go read it for yourselves, because I keep telling y'all, don't believe anything I say. Go and have a look at it for yourselves. So here is the report from the American Cancer Society. This is Colorectal Cancer Statistics 2023, first published on March the 1st of last year. So this is a whole abstract on CRC, colorectal cancer, and it is in the United States of America, the second most common cause of cancer deaths in the United States. So every 3 years, the American Cancer Society provides an update of CRC statistics based on incidents from population-based cancer registries and mortality from the National Center for Health Statistics. One thing I love about the U.S., honey child, they study everything. They get stats and everything. There's got to be a stat out there on how often you blink with your right eye. That's just how into statistics they are. But it's good because whether it's looking at the effects of the COVID vaccine or drugs or health, I mean, they are studying every single thing. There's lots of opportunities in the U.S. for people to do medical research. They get funding for it. I think it's fantastic because the information that they have allows them to extract certain potential conclusions about what is going on. So, they say that in the U.S., for example, in 2023, 153,020 people will be diagnosed with CRC, and about 52,550 of them will actually die from the disease, including 19,550 cases and 3,750 deaths in individuals younger than 50 years of age. So again, they've seen that there's a decrease in CRC incidence, slowed from 3 to 4% annually during the 2000s to 1% during 2011 to 2019. So for a long time, as the doctor said, thanks to, treatments and, early detection, all this kind of stuff, it was actually on the decline from 3 to 4% annually during the 2000s. Now we see that decline has dropped down to 1% between the periods of 2011 to 2019. And this is concerning. And they say that this is being driven partly by an increase in individuals younger than 55 years of age. And that's 1 to 2% annually since the mid-1990s. So again, the population of people getting colorectal cancer has actually gotten younger. Wow. So it went from those younger than 55 years of age, went from 11% in 1995 to 20%. I mean, that's a significant jump. I mean, I tell you no lie, that's a huge jump from 11% to 20% in 2019. So folks, do your bit. There's lots of information here. I've just shared the link. Anybody else on WhatsApp who wants this link, just message me and I'm happy to get it to you. Lots of good data in here. You get to see how they're coming to conclusions. And those conclusions and that information now shapes the recommendations as it relates to testing. So that's why the testing age has been put down to 45. And so you take the good advice that's being provided to you. Without a doubt, folks, it's hard. A lot of us know the things that we're supposed to be doing, especially when it comes to diet and exercise, and it remains an ever-present challenge for us to do so. And one of my, sort of remits on this program, as much as I possibly can, is always to try to lead by example. Clearly, in the diet and exercise department, we're not doing the best job of leading by example. So you guys know I was supposed to kick off my 50 by 50 last year. It was supposed to happen in August. I was supposed to have these results. It didn't happen. The good news is I'm at least maintaining. It's not like I'm getting worse necessarily, but there is lots and lots of room for improvement. So This week, I am going to commit. I'm kind of, oh my gosh, when I fall off the wagon, and when I talk about the wagon, I'm not talking about alcohol because I don't drink alcohol. And I think that's probably one of the saving graces for me in terms of my health habits is I'm not a drinker. So, alcohol increases your risk for everything, related to death and illness. And because I don't drink, that's probably my saving grace right there. But there's lots of room to improve exercise. And I must tell you that the interesting thing for me with exercise is I actually enjoy. I'm not a person who doesn't enjoy exercising. It's more of like just trying to find the time to work it into my schedule. And what I really, really love are the activities that like the racket sports. So I love tennis, squash, pickleball. So that's why I was all excited about pickleball. By the way, why are the pickleball courts going up on their fees already? I'm like, I was enjoying my $5 open play segments on Sunday morning. For $5-10, I could go play for like 2 hours. Now it's gone up. I was like, I just don't have to build myself a pickleball court in my own yard, honey chill. Anywho, needless to say, you've got to stop looking for excuses. So I've got a whole gym full of exercise equipment. There's really no reason why, if I wanted to go walking every morning for even 5 or 10 minutes, I mean, I do walk the dog now, so that counts, I guess. But, that's not really getting my heart rate up that much. There's really no reason why I couldn't do it. And I am a person who, my friends will know this. So Melanie, especially, because we used to play squash in the day. Alistair, listening to the program this morning. Al, remember when we used to hit the tennis court like 3-4 times a week and we were in great shape? I mean, oh my God, we were getting such a good workout and you could see the slimming of the hips and everything. And most importantly, that visceral fat, which surrounds all of your organs. You gotta exercise and try to eat healthier and all those kind of things. So, we were doing good for a little bit, and then it's like you fall hard off the wagon. It's hard to get back on. But I am committed. Folks, to getting back on that wagon, and I'm going to do it. So, who wants to join me this morning? Who's committed? We just got to find a plan. It's called, no excuses. I'm tired. Nope, no excuses. Come on, Sandy, let's do it. The buddy system actually works when it comes to physical activity. So anybody wants to join me, let me know. I've even said, one of the recommendations I was making to the PAC government, because God knows a lot of them are unhealthy as well. I said, let's do like community-based walking groups. Remember when we were talking about this before and everybody's like, yes, Andy, I'm in. Never happened. So, in small neighborhoods, we could get together and commit to, okay, let's walk once or twice a week. And then I can supplement that and do other stuff. I know what I need to do. And I've got my vacation coming up in October. So listen to the plan now. I'm going to recommit to the plan. Okay? Birthday's in August, vacay in October. So between now and October, I got lots of time. That's what? How many months? What month is March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So let's say 6 months because I've got to be ready by October 1st. I still have 6 months. You can do a lot in 6 months. So I need a buddy. Anybody in Savannah, Lower Valley area, sometimes the mosquitoes be killing though. If you really want to start walking, let's go to the track. Let's do something. We just have got to do it. Like I said, all the equipment is here. Once I start and I get into it, then it like motivates me to keep going. It's the starting back and making it a habit, 21 days routine. And I have faith that we can do it. Johan, you need to walk too. Tubby. So I'm here saying in my head, I'm 1,000% committed. In my heart, I'm 90% committed. And so the body is the 50% that needs to get going. So let's just do it. All right. I'm going to unveil. Okay. So by the way, I'm not going to be here Thursday and Friday, just as an FYI. Not going to be here, but we're going to unveil. Look at the box. Y'all see that box behind me? That box is a piece of exercise equipment that has been sitting here with me since October. And the box has not even been opened yet. We are going to open that box within the next week. If I don't do it, what's the penalty going to be? I don't know. We got to start penalizing me for not doing things like opening up that piece of exercise equipment. We're going to get on it. All right. Anybody else? Let me see. Damien said treadmills in LA instead of sitting in the LA. Ooh, you know what? They could have standing desk. Almost all of our MPs are unhealthy in a very concerning way. Although they seem to keep going, honey child, don't seem to stop them. But you can imagine that's why some of them be falling asleep in Parliament and they can't pay attention. They eating too much sugary foods and they're diabetic. Look at poor Mac, poor him. He even went and did the drastic step of having gastric surgery. It certainly helped him a lot, but then we've seen him put the weight right back on. Diabetes. We've got some that are smokers. Kenneth. Smokers and drinking a Pepsi every morning for breakfast. Although you're slim, those are habits that are not conducive to you living a very long and healthy life. Sodas, I've been doing my best because I know how addictive they are. And I've also been doing my best to give them up because a soda a day doubles your chances of getting diabetes. One soda a day. And think about how some of us drink it all 2 and 3. Now, I treat sodas like my alcohol intake, right? I will tend to only have them at certain social events. Like if I go to a party, because everybody else is drinking alcohol and I don't drink alcohol. So I'm like, let me have a Pepsi instead. Probably not a whole lot better, but just cut it out. Try to have other things. In the mornings, honey child, I forgot my straw this morning, so that's why I'm sipping my water. Trying to drink that water, honey child. That's my Achilles heel. Is getting enough water intake. So what are some of the other healthy things? Jamila says she's in after her maternity. What are some of the healthy things that you're trying to adopt in terms of habit? Shakazua says Cayman definitely needs to get on board with the stats overall. Again, the health, the Ministry of Health in conjunction with, the CMO, trying to get information about our numbers and where we are. I think the truth of the matter is we're all woefully unhealthy. Like 90% of Cayman's population is in that severe and high risk category. Obese, overweight, the whole 9 yards. Richard, your birthday's August 18th. So is mine. What? Happy birthday. My birthday, brother. Yes, I'm August 18th. And my daughter's August the 9th. Alejandro says, careful, Sandy. That's a huge crowd, Buddy System Workout Club. I'm in. Sandra, let's form this club. Yes, let's do it in some form or another. And you guys can do it within your own little neighborhood. So if you're all the way West Bay, God knows I'm not going to drive to West Bay to exercise with you. But within your little neighborhood, find people who want to walk. And, do it. Miss Carla, I got to call you this evening, see if we can't work something out. Like I said, sometimes the walking, the one mosquito season starts. Oh, Lord have mercy. By the way, big shout out to that'd be DEH. Are they the ones who go around checking? Or was that MRCU? Anyway, somebody was recently in the area checking for mosquito, sitting water and stuff like that. So apparently they came and they asked Marlon if they could go in the backyard and have a look at any form of, if we had any sitting water around, and they gave us the all clear. So they're going around having a look. Have a look in your own backyards, folks, and make sure, because these are the things that fester mosquitoes. And, when we have a little rainy season, oh God, that activates the larvae, and here they come biting people up. Like you legit can't walk outside for them. It's so crazy. Because now I'm outside more often walking the dog, I've got mosquito nets and all kind of stuff that I have on standby. Juliet says, me, Miss Sandy, I look a company, a buddy. I need to get in shape for my 50th too. All right, well, message me. Let's see what we can work out. I don't know where you live, but let's get it done. There's so much available in terms of resources that really we have zero excuse as to why we can't just commit to being healthier. We start with the diet and exercise, and other things just start to fall into place. Live, Rough Seas says, I'd be afraid to hang out with Sandy. Too many people want to deliver more black boxes out there. Pizzas? Live says you have to sprint to lose weight and jump rope. Walking is not effective. That's not true. That is totally not true, Live. Our cousin Mark in Tampa, he started walking. And when I saw him the other day, I couldn't believe how much weight he's lost. I could see it immediately in his face that he had lost weight. And he has lost, I don't know how much weight have you lost, Mark? In fact, let's ask Mark. Maybe he wouldn't mind a phone call this morning. Participate in the cold hard truth. Walking can be very effective. And I don't want to discourage people from walking, because the important thing about walking, it is low impact, and almost anybody can walk unless you have a broken leg or crutches or something specific. But most people can walk. And y'all can go some of y'all love going to the beach. You can walk in water because that offers additional resistance. Or if you have access to pool, walking in water is actually a very, very effective exercise. It doesn't have to be sprinting. It doesn't have to be high impact. And so these are some of the reasons why a lot of times we find an excuse like, oh my God, I got bad knees. I can't sprint. I got to tell you that when I get on the pickleball court, my knees feel it, right? So if I was 25 pounds lighter, my knees wouldn't feel it as much, if at all. And so this is why walking is one of the best ways. Oops, sorry. I was calling Maria, not Mark. Hold on. This is why, oh gosh, where's Mark? Oh, there we go. This is why one of the best things you can actually do is start off a walking routine, lose some of the initial weight, build up some stamina, and then you get to the point where you can do more vigorous types of exercising. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Sandy.
You are on the cold hard truth, honey child. We had a couple questions for you this morning. We wanted to talk to you about your exercise. Now, you've lost a little bit of weight.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what you did to lose the weight.
Well, one of the things that I think was instrumental in that is I started to incorporate the intermittent fasting regimen. And that's just one thing. I think one of the things for me, additionally, that has been helpful with that is to do that, and also walking. But walking intentionally, there's also the target heart rate type of thing. So it took a little bit to get used to the intermittent fasting, because if you research it on the internet, there's a lot of different people that'll tell you a lot of different things. But I have gotten myself to the point where I begin eating my first meal at 12, and then I stop eating at 8 p.m. So I think if you do the math with that, that's like a 16-hour fast, and then 8-hour eating window. And of course, when I'm eating, I'm not just eating anything crazy. I'm trying to be mindful about, healthy choices, and also protein intake. So in addition to that, I mentioned walking too. I realized that, the body is like an engine, right? So and the body processes, gets energy from either the foods we eat or the fat that we have in our body. If you get into the mindset of walking at a lower heart rate, again, all of these things you can research and at the internet, you can utilize the fat stores in your body versus maybe the food that you eat to get to to help the body process the fats in your body. To help to process the fats better is what I'm trying to say. So long story short, with all of that, it's just a combination of things, and walking in a specific target heart rate. So what is that? That's the type of heart rate where you can easily talk to somebody, you can be on the phone. If you're breathing very heavily, the body has switched to a point where it is trying to utilize the foods in your body versus maybe the fats in your body. So I know I've said a lot there, but all of this stuff is again, intermittent fasting, walking at a very comfortable heart rate, and doing it consecutively for an extended period of time. There's no magic pills. There's no panacea. You have to do this stuff, and you have to be intentional about
Baby, me go on the talk to him. You
Hello.
can't talk to me
Hello?
on it.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning. 1 second, Mark. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not bad. I am Diane. That is the talk show program with the house landlord and tenant.
Okay, all right. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna take your call this morning, but we're just wrapping up another conversation. So give me 2 seconds, and I'll actually call you back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, poor lady, been trying to talk about this landlord-tenant issue since Friday. So we're going to give her some time this morning. But we were talking, one of the reasons why I wanted to call is because somebody said, walking isn't enough. You need to be sprinting, jump roping, doing high impact exercising. And I think that the truth of the matter is there's a lot of people who can't do high impact stuff, especially if you're carrying an extra 50, 75 pounds. It's really hard in your joints and so forth, right? So walking is simple, it's free. Most of us can do it relatively safely in our own neighborhoods. You can even walk around the house. You can walk around the backyard. There's lots of available options in terms of walking. And I must say that when you were visiting our beautiful island recently, one of the things I saw you doing was being committed to getting up pretty much every morning and going for a morning walk, going for an evening walk. So tell us how you kicked off the walking part of it and what motivates you really to continue to walk.
Well, I tell you what motivated me is that I got to a point a year ago where I said enough is enough. One of the things I do additionally, I try to go to the gym and lift some weights a couple of times a week. But I think in your mind, you got to get to a point where you say enough is enough. We have a lot of tools that's available to us. One of the things that's been helpful, in addition to what I shared with you, is the Apple Watch that I have. And that many of us have that tracks our steps. So I try to, again, I research stuff, on the internet or whatever the case may be. And if you can start out with a goal in mind, am I going to try to walk 5,000 steps? I have a range of anywhere now, a year later, 10 to 20,000 steps a day. And for some people, that may sound like a lot, but I have been consistent. I've conditioned myself. It's a mindset shift. There's no magic pills. There's no magic bullet that's going to just do it for you. You have to be consistent with whatever it is that you decide that you want to do. So, and again, why I've done this is it's for my own health. I have a young family and I want to continue to be active and be there for them. I have a lot of friends that are physicians, and one of the things that they always tell me about is, I'm middle-aged now, is motion. Motion is lotion. It's like a hinge. If you don't move the hinge, which is your body, you get rusty and frozen in motion. So you have to move. So the Apple Watch that we have tracks our heart rate and also tracks the number of steps. So it's just keeping up with that. And you have to also, as I shared with you before, just try to be mindful of those other things. So that's in it. That's for me. That's what has been helpful overall.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. How much weight have you lost?
I have lost 80 pounds.
80 pounds?
Yes.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, continue the positivity and continue walking and, fasting and doing all those great things, because wow, I definitely saw it in your face when I saw you. Now, between August and when I saw you last month, how much between that time?
I've gotten to the point now where it's maybe 3 or 4 pounds. I mean, I've lost the majority of my weight before, so it gets, the more you lose, you're
kind of maintaining it now.
Yeah, you start to kind of level off. So I'm more into a kind of a maintenance sort of mode now with the things that I'm doing. But again, like I said, I'm each of us are different, and as you and your callers can hear, I'm doing multiple things. Some people may not have to do all of that. So my weight loss may be more aggressive than a lot of different people. And I'm also, as you know, an ex-military person, athletic in my younger years. So my body responds, maybe a little bit more differently than others. So I don't want to paint a false picture to anyone. I think the thing that's the most important is that you start somewhere and you are consistent consistent with the things that you do. And let's not forget, again, the things that we're putting in our mouth.
Yes.
I've also eliminated the one things I've eliminated a lot of the soda and stuff. You saw when I was there, I was drinking club soda with lime and San Pellegrino with lime or whatever. I just don't have the taste for the sweet stuff, except, let's be honest, you made a nice sorrel there. I did have to have my sorrel. So
yes. Thank Miss Stacy for the sorrel. But
thank you for the sorrel. So everything is, I think everything, again, is in moderation. We have to live in life and enjoy ourselves and our family, but you just have to start and try to be consistent with whatever you're doing over a long, over an extended period of time, and just be patient with yourself. It's a mindset shift, and caller and anyone, whoever's listening, you can start today. Enough is enough. Why not start today?
That's what I'm saying. I'm kickstarting and motivating myself, and I'm trying to get some of my listeners motivated that we're gonna start walking. We're gonna do some group walks and stuff here. I'm gonna get back on the pickleball court. I have dreams of having my own pickleball court in the yard, so I'm gonna start working towards that. There is a lot that we can do. So I think without a doubt, sometimes you just got to start small and take it from there.
Right. And one of the things, Sandra, that I wanted to share with you and the callers too, is that for those who have the ability, we do have also here in my home, the Peloton treadmill. And that's if I cannot get outside, I mean, even on Amazon, for those who may go overseas, whatever, they have these little walking pads that you can buy or whatever that you can bring in your home. And, you can hear, my wife will tell you, he's up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't know why he's up early. I hear all that, but I have a mission. I'm dedicated to it. And that's what it is. You just got to begin and continue and be consistent. And you may have some naysayers or whatever the case may be, but you have to make the commitment to yourself first, and then everything else will come, after that.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All righty. So there you go. Cousin Mark, he has lost some 80 pounds on his journey to weight loss. And I think that's motivation that we can all do it. Really appreciate him. Like he said, it's a lot of different things, right, that he has done. There's no one magic bullet. I wish there was. But it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of the fasting, watching the, oh, hold on. Hey, Mark.
Hey, the call drops. Sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I think that was me hanging up on you, actually. No, but I just wanted to say thank you. And then I'm going to wrap up this segment because I do want to talk to some other people here. But thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
All righty. So, yeah, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So a little bit of the, walking, the intermittent fasting, the, being mindful, giving up. The one thing that we should all give up, alcohol. Even if you give it up 95%, you don't have to go out drinking every single weekend or every single day. The sodas, give up the sodas, stop smoking. If you're a smoker, if you eat jerk every single day, maybe cut back to like once every other week as a treat. So we can do it. Darlene says we can have a CMR walkathon, honey chow, 5K, CMR 5K, walking on the Mall Road. Why not? All right. We're going to get ourselves organized. I'm ruminating with some ideas, and I think we really need to hold each other accountable and get organized. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am here to talk about 351 Marina Drive.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I just spoke to you, right?
Yes.
I'm going to call you back. Give me 1 second. There is one other thing I need to touch on before we get to you. Okay. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to call you back. Don't worry. I'm not forgetting you.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay. Thanks.
Ooh, that woman not happy with her line. Okay. Let's read a few comments and then I want a very important call that we need to make before her, and then we'll call her. And her issue is important too. This person says, let me see here. We'll be at it again soon. Give me a couple months. You've been saying that for a couple years now. Do low impact seated weight exercise. And by the way, it's not just about cardio, especially for women, but all people. Weight bearing exercise is extremely important to your muscular health, your skeletal muscular health. Women, as we age, we're going to be losing calcium, osteoporosis, and all this other stuff is going to set in. And one of the ways that you offset that, it isn't actually with the cardio. And to be clear, the real benefits of cardio isn't about weight loss. The real benefits of cardio is conditioning your body and all the other things. Weight, 80% diet, right? 20% everything else. So you've got to do weights. You've got to lift weights. You've got to do weight bearing. You don't necessarily have to lift weights. You can even use your body, because we're all overweight. We can use our body to do certain types of exercise, body resistance exercise, where you're using your own body as the weight. So you don't need to go out and buy any fancy weights. And there's lots of things around the house that weigh stuff. You know, you can pick up the dog. I mean, if I sit here and pumped Zeus a couple times, he looks like he's getting a little bit, healthier in the weight. That's a good couple pounds right there. So low impact walking, cut out the refined sugar and starches, says this person, keep it simple. Now let's talk about this. One more comment about this. This person says MPs aren't worried about their health if they can put so much effort into sexually harassing women. Ooh, honey child. Yes. They said, I'm listening to the program. Can't comment though. Pickleball went up because they need to pay for the contractors for building the next court. All right. So we'll come back here in a second to that. The penalty will be, give me $100,000, says this person. Lord Jesus. I'm going to have to start walking for real. Blessed, good morning, San. Yes, let's go walking, please. And thanks. I'm here in Savannah. Thank you so much. Okay. We can do it. We can do it. I'm feeling the motivation, so I'm going to start putting down my list. All right. So let's move on from this. Somebody else says, thank you for this great Medical Tuesday. You're most welcome. Are you still with the doctor? Good morning. Can I ask if diverticulitis or IBS gives you cancer? Go back and watch it. As he answered the question already. All right, so these are good questions that were still coming in. Okay, y'all are not going to believe the phone call that I just got this morning. Oh, geez. Hold on here now. It was on my personal number. So I was like, who's calling me? Look, yeah, I'm going to call him back. Listen up, kiddos. It's very important now.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. This is Auntie Sandy. What's going on?
Yes, mom. So basically, I'm a student at CHT, and they not fix this AC all now.
Jeez, I'm peace. So tell me exactly what's going on when you guys arrived at school this morning.
So we arrived. Oh, shit.
Language. These kids. He probably saw the teacher coming. He was on the phone, wasn't supposed to be on the phone. Okay, the bottom line is this, folks. Was this another one calling me? Let me see who this was. They're saying the AC is still not fixed.
Hello.
Hi, morning. You were calling earlier?
Yeah, morning, Sandra. I'm not on the radio yet, right?
Yes, you are. You wanted to talk off air? Okay. All right. Here's the deal. The AC is still not fixed. Let me just say this. if the facilities manager and the Department of Education don't get their ish together, you see, after they got dragged over the coals yesterday, their sole objective was hurry up and get them kids back in school. Don't do it at the expense of people passing out because it's not fixed. Apparently, this is what I received. Hold on now, because there could be a logical explanation here. I'm not really sure how to take this, but what I am being told is that although they claim that they have repaired it, they fixed it, so them say, it takes a while for it to work. And I'm like, huh? Okay, this is what I got this morning. Let's have a look at this and see if this makes any sense. Then give the kids another day, because these children are there burning up. You know the amount of messages I've gotten already this morning? So this is what it says. I've been informed that the AC chiller system has been repaired, but will require a gradual reintegration, here to BS, to have the system back online fully. What does that mean? The workers are on compound to ensure that the system starts to chill at 50% capacity by 7:30 this morning. It's suspected that the system will be back to full capacity by 10 a.m. So you expect children to sit in the heat for how many hours? No, Bobo. What is this? What? Let's call the education department this morning, because these people really, they're out of order. Let's give them a call, because if they can't do better than this, somebody said it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Well, heat or humidity, both will make you pass out and uncomfortable. Hold on here now. Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi, morning.
We're reporting from Clifton Hunter High School.
Yes, now no foul language, young man, all right? Yes, so tell me what's going on.
So basically we arrived at school, and as soon as we arrived at school, there was no AC. The school stank, and they claim that if nothing is fixed by 10 o'clock, they're gonna send us home, but I doubt that.
They're gonna send y'all home by 10 o'clock. But they were saying that
they send us to school in the first.
That's what I'm saying.
And we could catch ammonia, miss.
Well, you're not gonna catch ammonia. You might catch pneumonia, but don't worry. Yeah. You're not gonna catch that from humidity. But listen, this is why I'm a little bit confused. Why didn't just make y'all stay out another day? Because what I sent an email here claiming that they have to do what they call a gradual reintegration, and by 10 o'clock, it should be by full capacity, 7:30, 50%. So are you saying that you're not hearing you're not feeling any kind of little fresh breeze? None at all?
No, Mom, they're trying to send us outside to do classes.
Outside?
Yes, Mom.
What a hot mess. I guess you can have PE for 2 hours. No, sir. Wow. So there's a possibility that they could be sending you guys home again today by 10 o'clock.
Yes, Mom.
So at least your parents can start to prepare, unlike yesterday when there was no preparation in place. All right. Well, you guys try to hang in there. We're on it. We're going to call the Department now of Education and see if they can tell us anything. But try to behave yourselves and just chill out. All right. Thanks very much. All right, those poor children. What a hot mess. Now, it's bad when they got to be calling CMR during the live show to say, ma'am, it's hot here at the school. That's almost like when the prisoners called us complaining. Oh, my goodness, these poor children. Let's call some people here this morning. I don't know what to say about y'all. Y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better. Government, what are y'all doing? I got some phone numbers here now. Let's make a few phone calls, honey chill. Because this is not acceptable. I mean, come on now. Y'all gotta do better.
Hi, you have reached Della Ebanks, personal assistant to Mr. Mark Ray, Director of the Department of Education Services.
All right, let's try Mr. Elroy. He is the Deputy Director. See if anybody can answer this morning. Now, when they hear CMR calling, they don't want to answer the phone. Try calling Julie. Oh, Lord have mercy. We know she's not answering. We can try.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Sending us the voicemail. All right, Julie. Let me see what your number is. Juliana O'Connor. She's going to be blocked on my main number. We know that already. But let's give her a call. 916-4920. Let's see. Should I go over to radio? Cayman, tell lies. Oh, today is also cabinet. No answer. No surprise. Okay, no answer from her. Let's try Mr. Mark. We got a direct number for him. Somebody needs to answer. Oh, y'all not easy. Not at all. Who is this person? Who's this Buchanan? The principal of the school. Oh, what's her first name? Villains? Richard Wildman, the senior school improvement officer. They actually have such a person.
You have reached Mark. Leave me a message.
All right, no answer from Mark. None of them answering yet today. Let's try Richard Wildman. Let's see if he's going to answer. They're all sending out WhatsApp messages in that education chat. Nobody picks up the phone right now. Sandy's trying to...
You've reached the voicemail of Miss Gardner. Miss Gardner is currently away from her desk. Please leave your name.
All right, so that's the person for Mr. Wildman. Oh, we got a cell phone number for him. They're all like, don't answer. Do not pick up the phone right now. I could call France Manderson. That's who I got call in a minute. Kenneth is acting deputy premier. Should we call him? Since the premier not answering. No, sir. This is Mr. Richards' mobile number. No answer.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Richard Wildman?
Yes.
Yes, good morning. It's Sandra Hill from Cayman Mall Road. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Do you have a minute to speak with us on air?
I don't actually.
Uh-huh.
In a meeting at this time.
Okay. Might the meeting be about Clifton Hunter fixing the AC?
I can't speak to that.
Okay. All right. We're hopeful. Thank you, sir. In a meeting, but you still answered your phone and then you can't talk. Come on now, son. Shape up. 945-1199. Let's just call the direct number over at the Education Services. No, sir.
You have reached the voicemail box.
What? How does a mean number go? How does a 949? How does that go to voicemail? What? They're all busy trying to fix the AC. They can't answer you now. No, honey child, they got time for meetings. All right, let's call Miss Buchanan. See if she might have anything for us. Is she on site, suffering with the poor children? Poor her. So sorry for you. Yes, sir. You see, I'm telling y'all now, if this was a private school, somebody would answer the phone.
You have reached the voicemail box.
This is why you pay money to these private schools, because at least they can answer your phone call. I mean, if nothing else. This person is Sandra. That's the slackness we all have to put up with. They don't listen to Miss Buchanan. She's been fighting to fix the AC. Poor her. I figured as much. Who else? Shall we call Kenneth? You know, he can pretend like he don't know that we live now and talking about this. Does Kenneth have any children that go there? Or are they all, his kids probably go to John Gray. All right, he's deputy premier. You want leadership position? Well, we got some questions. Julie don't answer, and I'm guessing the other deputy is still away. Somebody says when they don't answer, take it as a compliment. What? Take it as a compliment. Half of government listening to your show instead of doing their work. Oh, God. That's funny.
This number does not subscribe to a voicemail.
Not even Kenneth answering this morning. Lord Jesus. This person says, no, honey child, his kids go to private school. Don't they go to John Gray? Oh, I thought they went to John Gray. I just sent my son to go for my daughter, says this person. Yeah, man, it's not fair to these poor kids, though. I mean, honest to God, I would be really upset if my child was in that AC foolishness, lack of AC. Tell them to go do homework outside. I mean, this isn't the 1880s. Somebody say better call France next. Good morning.
Good morning.
Minister. Good morning, Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan. How are you? The Honorable Kenneth Bryan.
Good morning, Sandra. Kenneth is fine. How you doing?
I'm good. I have a question for you. We're getting a lot of complaints this morning about the AC unit at Clifton Hunter. In fact, even the students have gone as far as calling us, which they've never done before. Do you have any idea what's going on?
Well, as far as I am aware, based on the information I got recently, they were having an underground problem, which I've heard from the head of education. They're trying to work diligently to get the matter resolved. It has something to do with the water supply. So we do have to give those technical persons a little bit of time to try to resolve. I know it's difficult because it gets very hot. We're in a very hot period. Thank God it's a little overcast today. But I even recently saw some pictures which were sent around with the gentlemen who were working up to late last night. So it may take another day or so to get resolved, but I'm certain that the education department is on it. We gotta have to be a little bit patient with them. We can only go as fast as those persons who are qualified to resolve the problem, because a lot of this infrastructure is under the earth from the building of it. We know that school was a very technical school when it was built. So I can't give you much more information other than that, but I'm certain that the education team can send out some info. Matter of fact, I'm just reading something here. Hold on. And the education team worked throughout the last night to repair the underground water leak, the AC chillers at CHHS. Students back in school this morning, and the cooling on the campus is returning in stages due to the gradually reintroducing the pressure in order to negate any further leakages. So it seems that the technical people are almost there.
Yeah, I saw that message as well. And I was kind of wondering, because it said that they're thinking they'll be back at full capacity by 10 o'clock. Why not perhaps then wait to have the kids return? Because, I mean, these kids are like, Miss Sandy, they're telling us to go outside and have class outside, do our schoolwork outside. That's not comfortable in this heat. You know, Caribbean temperatures already hot this morning.
You know, sometimes our privileges that we've grown up with has letting us forget. I remember, and you would remember, the stories of our forefathers doing homework under a hut with a slate and some chalk. The kids are going to be fine.
Yes, that's my 8 or 9 year old mother. These children don't know nothing about that lifestyle. Let's be honest, they soon pass out.
Maybe they should. Maybe they should. You know, and they're going to be just fine. Come on Wednesday or Thursday, after the AC is fine, they're going to be okay. We can, what we're going to do, rush the individuals, the professionals who are doing it to let them not do it right, and then we have a bigger problem?
No, but maybe just allow the kids to stay out until it's resolved is all I'm saying. I mean, you know, I think there's another alternative here that should have been considered.
You're probably right, and there's probably about 5 different ways we could have done this, right? And there's always going to be conjecture about whether or not you did it right this way or right that way. And 2 days from now, we're not going to be talking about this. The kids continue to work hard. Parents support them. Say, listen, sometimes in life it gets a little difficult. You got to push through it, just like we do as adults. All right.
All right. So, can I ask you another question? Perhaps you can, you know, because right now you're the right-hand man of the premier as deputy premier. Could you please ask her so-called professionals why Clifton Hunter has an issue with mold and mildew and carpet? We showed some pictures yesterday that are, I mean, I can't believe it. That mold can kill you, by the way, and make you very, very sick. So please ask them if they can't do something about this mold and mildew and carpet issue, because it's really poor. And I don't think children should have to suffer with that now, because that's a health concern.
I agree. And I'm certain that the education officials are on it, and I'll call and double check as to where things are at with that. I can promise you it's a priority.
And it looks like it might be a rainy day too. So I don't know if I want the kids outside in the rain.
We definitely don't want that. But I can give you the commitment that the government is on it. The children are our top priority. So let me make some calls and see where things are at. But I'm certain it's not like they're just sitting around doing nothing. They're trying to get it resolved. Okay?
All right, my dear. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks. Bye-bye. I don't know nothing about nobody in these kind of conditions, because if the children aren't used to it, our forefathers didn't have a choice. They didn't know what AC was. So I bet you as soon as they could sit on a block of ice, So somebody on IG, Mr. Parsons, said we didn't have electricity, much less AC. That is true. That is true. But tell me something now. How many of you right now don't have AC in your house? That's why y'all be killing yourselves trying to cuss out CUC because you refuse to turn off the AC. You could turn it off, but you refuse to turn it off because your body has become acclimated to it. And so human beings, I got to be honest with you, we can't endure probably physically half the stuff that we used to because we just not used to it no more. So I understand the minister's point, but I don't think our children should have to suffer. And I just open up my window and honey child, look like it's drizzling and raining. And I don't think no kid should have to sit out in that kind of weather. So I don't know. I don't know about making these kids rough it that much. These children, at least they need a little fan or something. Did they bring in fans? Do you guys know those big fans that they have at A.L. Thompson? They're called big fans. They're huge. They could have brought in a few of those, at least plug them in and turn it on. So, there could be some kind of breeze. But to have children sit in those conditions, to me, just is not acceptable. I'm sorry. But Johan, again, thanks to the minister, he did call back after he saw the missed call. So Johan says DP Brian in the building demonstrating what PR looks like. At least Kenneth answers the phone and he will have a conversation with you. The rest of them, wonk, 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 leave a lot to be desired. Brianna says, make them what? That's not nice at all. Why doesn't he send his kids there and let them too? Johan says, Sandy is an American. She don't understand the Camanian struggle. Like going to school without AC, heaven forbid. Johan, you don't know it yourself. I doubt you know life without AC. I remember life without AC, but it wasn't in schools. At least in America, the AC worked, honey child. Because they'd probably get sued if they didn't. Hello, caller. Well, they need to do their work outside the government admin building, Feisty. Somebody else said, would he take his office outside and sit outside? So Amani says they're going to be learning in the rain. Gabby says it's 96 degrees in the shade. And by the way, Mr. Parsons, not for nothing, but the heat that y'all had back then, I'm convinced is not the same kind of heat that we have now. Because y'all had so many trees and you had the sea breeze and less buildings and less emissions and all this kind of stuff. So to be very, very clear, it wasn't the same kind of heat either. Global warming, things are the hottest. The earth is the hottest that it's ever been. So y'all were enjoying 70-degree weather when Mr. Ebanks or Mr. Parsons or Moses or whoever was a little lad. So I don't know. Sandra, tell Kenneth the bigger problem is the carpets. The carpets are what's causing the breathing issue. The AC breakdown just worsens it. The materials to fix fix the carpets are on island, but DES doesn't want to fix the carpets yet. Fix carpets? How you gonna fix carpet? Just pull that ish up. BS Kenneth about rush the professionals. This has been a problem for years. We demonstrated that yesterday. We demonstrated since 2018. When did the school open? They've been talking about this AC problem. So nobody, not trying to rush nobody. We just trying to say, get on it after 6-7 years of knowing that there's a problem. Sandra, the problem is not the AC is off. The building doesn't have windows that can open and the carpets. What don't people blickety, 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 blick get? Expletive. Oh, my Lord. Oh, try hush. Sure. Chris Saunders sending out foolishness. We don't want to hear it from him. People need to understand September 2012 was when the school opened. Ask him if his office AC was out, if he could tolerate it, especially if it was a whole department or one door to open. He too damn bright. CHHS has 6 classes with 1 door and the dumb open floor plan. How the heck should they tolerate it for one day? How the heck they must tolerate it for one day? For those who talk about they never had AC in the past, well, that's because it was no heat like this back then, and there was more trees. Kiss my teeth. And also, you were not in a building with no ventilation. You know what I'm saying? Back in those days, a lot was different. Please read my comment. He needs to go to CHHS and pass out. Oh my God. I cannot read. No. I can't read that on air. So what I will do, I will put this comment on the screen for those of you who wish to go online to read it for yourselves, because this is the kind of comment that would most certainly get CMR blocked. However, that doesn't mean that y'all can't read it for yourselves. They can't block you for reading something, can they? Because, you know, Joke and Chris Saunders don't call the police. Oh, but she put up a comment from somebody and that had profanity in it, so we're going to have to censor her. Read the comment for yourselves. I cannot read it for you. Let me know when y'all have all had a chance to read it. Okay, honey chill. The same carpet since 2012 when the school opened. Yuck. Lord. This other person said, and class sizes were significantly smaller back in the day when they got shade from under a tree. And like I said, the little schoolhouse was open windows all around. Parents, this is what one person says, parents, stop sending your children to that toxic school environment. I wonder if you guys had, if all of the parents got together and refused to send their children there for a couple days, what would they do then? What if y'all did a sit out? What if y'all did a protest? You see, this is when y'all need to start talking and thinking outside the box, right? Clearly, as parents, you have very, very little power. What if y'all said, enough is enough. We're going to have a sit out, make the children not go to school, none at all. And then what are you going to do? Somebody said, how irresponsible of him to say that. What a hot mess. Oh my gosh. This person says, you see, these MPs are working for us, the people, the Cayman Islands, and no one will answer your calls. This is disgraceful. Well, Kenneth called back. To his credit, like I said, this person says, ask him why Julie not coming MP for education, not commenting. Oh, remote learning as they did for COVID would have been a solution, at least for a couple days. Like I said, Sandra, as you have seen and heard, no one cares. Oh my gosh. This is disgusting. Oh, wow. What a mess. Oh, yes, sir. I got a friend on a walk. She said, I wish you were here walking down by the Newlands Canal. Mess with you, honey chill. Good stuff. Looking good. Looking good. My goodness. I don't know. I think they're probably going to end up sending the children home again today. How long? I mean, here's my other question is why didn't they do, if this took a certain amount of time to cool, I don't know what time they fixed it, to be honest, and fair to them. Was it just fixed hours before school reopened? But I mean, they were messaging from last night, sending out a press statement by at least 5:30 to say school was back in session. did the process to reintegrate this and, cool it in stages not start immediately? Because if they feel like now we're rushing them, that says to me like this actually takes more time than they had to get it back fully operational. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hello, Kenneth.
Again.
Yes, sir.
Just it's important that I highlight some things because obviously I'm continuing to listen to the show now that you called.
Well, you called me back, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I called you back once you called. That it's important that we don't have the children miss any more days than or miss any days. Obviously, education is important, and the judgment call has to obviously factor all kind of elements in place. For some parents, leaving them at home to do homeschooling at short notice could disrupt their whole day of going to work and all those things. Kids age or younger age, even though it's a high school, age 11, 12 may not, some parents may not be comfortable with that. And one thing we got to realize that no matter which decision it is that we made, that somebody would not be comfortable with it. But interestingly, I just trying to understand the logic of responding, because obviously I answered the phone. And
we always appreciate you for that, Minister. To be honest, you're one of the few that do.
What's the point of doing that then when no matter what you say is going to be criticized? I mean, I recognize that over the years that.
Would you like me to answer that?
Yeah. Sorry, my apologies. Go ahead.
Because you don't say stuff to garner favor one way or the other. So you can't use that mentality of why do I speak if people are going to criticize. You're an MP, so it is your job to speak to the people and engage with the people. And even if you say something and they don't like it, that shouldn't motivate you to not speak or to speak. You know what I mean? That shouldn't have an impact one way or the other.
Agreed. Hence the reason why I was happy to call you back, right? Because I know that not everybody's going to be happy. But there's an element of, okay, you say anything, and there is, rather than looking at the positives, say, okay, I understand a little bit better now, trying to look at the positives, we only look at what the negatives are. And I say we, sometimes I mean you, because you only try to identify, well, we're pressuring them. It was me that said that. The education department didn't say that anybody was rushing them.
Well, I didn't say that. The comment that I read, let me be very, very crystal clear here now. Okay, because I feel like we're getting a little bit in our feelings, and when that happens, we get misinformation.
No.
I read a comment from a listener who said that it has nothing to do with professionals, like he said, like we're not rushing the professionals. So they're saying that this problem has existed since 2018 at least. So how would anybody think, whether that came from you or whoever, that we were rushing professionals when this has been an issue for many, many years? That's what the person said. That was not my comment. They said BS, Kenneth, about rushing the professionals. That was their comment, not my comment.
Okay, fair enough. So that was my assessment, right? Because obviously we get the information back of who's working on what, and they're trying to get it resolved as quickly as possible. And I think that obviously they're trying to do it. They recognize that there's kids there, and the kids need to be comfortable in order to be able to learn. And they're doing it as fast as they can without it becoming problematic by doing something wrong, so we don't have to do this again. And even if the problem existed before, they could have possibly thought that they fixed it before and it reoccurred again. So I want us to look at it from the positive standpoint that there, all the intention here is to get it resolved as quickly as possible with the least negative effect on all the different variables, whether it's homeschooling, whether it's we should have taken another day off of school, whether the kids should be not having being educated for another day out of the small amount of days per year that they do, all of these variables. So it's never going to be everybody going to be happy with the call, but we're trying our endeavor best, right? And we love your children, that's important. And I'm happy to go outside and do my work outside of the government building, so maybe I can feel it too, because when you feel what the people are going through, then you can understand better. But I'm certain I know what heat feels like. And I'm happy. I'm going to take a drive down there today myself just to see it firsthand.
Somebody was just asking that if you'd be willing to take a tour down at CHHS.
Matter of fact, I'm going down there today. I'm going to do it myself just to make sure that we can see firsthand. But the head of education has kept the government abreast of what's going on. We get
and where's the
messages.
education minister? May I ask? Do you know?
Well, that's her personal situation. She's off dealing with a little matter. So
personal.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And you could reach out to her office. If she's not, have you reached out to try to ask?
Well, we always try to call her and we don't get an answer. But
here's what I don't want to do. Sandra. Bear with me, please, and understand. Obviously, I know you have a feud with the Honorable Premier, but she's my premier, and I don't want to get caught in between that. Okay, if you call,
well, there's no feud. I'd love for her to just answer the phone.
Okay, so
you see, I can be critical of her as an elected member because you guys work for us without there being a feud. Like, I don't know why anybody thinks that there's a feud. There's no feud. We just call her out on, some of the foolishness that we see going on, which is normal in most countries without people thinking that there's a feud. But we would still expect her to engage with the public, even if she doesn't want to come on the show. She says she has a favorite radio station. She hasn't been over there to make a statement about this either.
Well, I can't say to you because I don't know exactly where she is now, but I'm certain that she's busy doing something. Why if you called her and she hasn't answered, I can't tell you the reason for that. I don't think that you did call her, but you got the acting deputy, and I've answered the phone.
Wait. You said you don't think that I called her?
I don't know.
But I just told you I called her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I didn't understand.
I mean, So, understand me. If I said I did something, now I did it. I can show you the call log. I called her.
No, okay. Well, if you did, there is a potential chance that she's busy doing something, right? I mean, unless she was just sitting at home doing nothing. You got
Is
hold
she
of somebody
in Camana or Cayman Brac? Do you at least know that much? I mean, you're deputy premier now.
She's in Ireland.
She's here on this island.
So you did get hold of somebody who acts on behalf of the government to give a response on behalf of the people, who the people have the right to know what's going on. So I've given you as much information as I possibly could.
And I understand your information would be limited, because that isn't your direct area of responsibility. So the same email that you would have been reading from, we had read from already. So
you have most of the information in respect to what's transpiring. And the head of education, Mark Ray, I'm certain that he'll be releasing more updated information, but it won't be second by second. They'll give it to you in periodical stages of where things are, where we transition to, what's the next steps. You've got to give them time, right? You've got to give them time. That's all we're saying. We're not saying that, we don't understand the stress that it's causing on the kids, but we're working through it. And that's all we're suggesting.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, the kids called, and I think, to be fair to them, all the stuff that they be going on with, they've never actually called and reached out during class time before. So I think that speaks to how uncomfortable their situation is.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Myself and take a look and see how bad it is.
All right. Thank you very much, Minister. I appreciate it. All right, folks. What a hot mess. Aliana says, boy, I'll have to rewatch this. Seems hot, but I'm this much. Well, I don't call. I'm sure I'm something. I say this much. It doesn't cost $15,000 for a hammer or $20,000 for a toilet seat. We need to maintain these schools, and more than throwing away the money, or throw some my way. She's probably home praying for Sandy to stop calling her, says Leroy. Darlene says, Muppet on the puppet. Useless, says Melinda Maldonado. Good morning, beautiful Melinda. Oh, I love that picture. Is that Jesus in your picture? What kind of picture is that? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Morning, dear.
This is Dexter. I don't have to hide behind anything.
Yes, sir.
I didn't understand what Kenneth was trying to make excuses for everybody else, the downfall of everybody else. One of the biggest lies you can tell is not taking responsibility for your action. This air conditioner is not just at this morning's problems. This has been going on for years. The carpet, and there's no ventilation to the place. How in the world did they ever get that passed when there's no ventilation, no doors or windows to the place? If that had been somebody,
the design leaves a lot to be desired, because I don't know why even a modern day design should have windows that can open.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a lot of concerns about that.
They should. These are thoughts that they must have got. They must got Elvis from Camana Bay to design that for some worms. Because the thing about it is that there's no way in this world that this building should have been approved without proper ventilation, proper windows and doors. If a fire, that's a fire hazard. That's a fire hazard. If the kids get caught up in a fire, a fire start, God forbid it doesn't, then we are in serious problems. And like you told him that the children is now calling themselves because they are concerned about their own health. And kids have never, let me tell you something, when kids don't worry about health or anything. They'll go through the worst fire to get what they want, but they are concerned about their health. And Kenneth guys, stop making excuses for Julie. Why don't Julie? Okay, she doesn't like you. You could be wiped off the face of the earth. To her, you are Hamas, and she's Israel. And no, I don't sugarcoat anything. So at least knowing that this is a hot topic, why doesn't she come online and try to give an explanation, a logical explanation? Because anybody can do an explanation, but a logical explanation as to what is going on. But there's no excuse why this should be going on now. This problem has been taken care of years ago. So there's no excuse. And Brian, you guys stop trying to pass. Stop trying to protect everyone else. That is wrong. You're lying to yourself. So if you're lying to yourself, how can you be honest to anybody else?
Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate it.
Keep on. Believe me, there are so many people are now saying you are you're a breath of fresh air when you are letting the puss out of the bag.
So sad. Thank you, caller. I really appreciate it.
All right.
All right, my dear, 936-2626. A few more comments, then we got to call that poor lady. I did promise her that I would call her this morning. Miss Darlene McKenzie says, please don't victimize our children that called in on CMR for the school this morning. Another parent said they should have pulled the fire alarm so they could dismiss school. Miss Melinda, going to clap emoji. Jeffrey says, exactly, caller. Miss Vernita says they're also disrupting parents at their jobs. And it doesn't take much excuse to fire people. Damien says not being able to open the windows is a fire hazard. I kind of thought the same thing. Albert said, and some of you men moving like the B word, love gossip and sus. What does that have to do with the topic, Albert? I'm a little bit lost here. Everybody loves gossip and sus. And if you claim you don't, we all know that's a big lie. Darlene says corruption to the highest in every section. Exactly, Mr. Dexter. Oh, let's give Mr. Dexter's call a kaboom. Leroy says exactly. Alejandro responds to Albert, says, and I'm here listening. I want to know how the government works. You mean how it doesn't work? Stop taking people licks, says Darlene to Kenneth, giving him some advice. Thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says Mr. Dexter needs a kaboom for that. Yes, indeed. Siobhan says, who cares if she doesn't like Sandy? I know Sandy doesn't. She has an obligation to these islands. She shouldn't be worried about not liking whoever. She needs to just do her job and talk to the people. By the way, don't forget that the polls are still up. Morning, Mr. Dean. Mr. Dean. Yes, Miss Dean. Oh, Lord. Please don't forget that the poll is still up in relation to her. Let me check. We had two polls yesterday, one in relation to her and one in relation to the DPP. And the question that was posed yesterday was that is Juliana O'Connor Connolly the most incompetent minister? So far, 80% of you have said yes, she is. If you've not yet voted for that question, let me share the link again with you. There's the link. Siobhan said, what's the poll? So the poll question is, of the current ministers, would you consider her the most incompetent minister? It's shocking that 80% of you have said yes. Wow. Ooh, honey child. What a hot mess. Somebody says there's no greater fire hazard at the school than there is in an office building. They have fire alarms and suppression systems. Okay. I mean, do we not build windows that are accessible in terms of opening them anymore? That's just not a thing. All right. Here's another comment. Most of this I'm going to let y'all read on your own. Again, because certain words we simply can't use on the radio. Yep, honey chill. Basically, this person says he needs to go to CHHS and pass out. Next sentence you read on your own. Damage is done. My nephew attends CHS. He's a politician. What does he expect? What is positive about children fainting? When the kids should be concerned about, in case government isn't concerned, the acting deputy wants them to faint away. I mean, okay. You know, I'm a little bit, like I said, we always give Minister Brian credit for at least answering the call, calling back if he misses a call. There's a lot to be said for that because most of them don't even do that much. But having said that, this concept of, and I hope that he understood where I was coming from, of, oh, what's the point if your listeners are going to just be negative? The point is you kind of work for us and we expect to hear something. And I think that unfortunately for a lot of MPs, their attitude is they don't say anything. They don't do anything. Maybe that's why Kenneth is probably just expressing what they're all saying behind closed doors because, we're going to get nothing but negativity and negative feedback. That it's your job. And your job, I mean, it's not a popularity contest. And it's not about, the people are going to like me all the time and I can't get constructive feedback or whatever. There'll be legit people that don't like you for no reason or any reason. And, when you're in a public space, even just like myself, I'm not a politician, but people have feelings. They get all their feelings towards me. I have to put that aside. I have a job to do. So every day I show up, I'm here doing my job and I don't really care what people think. I have to do my job. So you have to put that out of your mind. Stop being worried about the comments, what people say, what people think. If you need to address a particular comment, if somebody's going too far in their comments, then you just address it and you move on. But you can't control the fact that people are going to talk because people are going to talk no matter what. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, my darling. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you. I would say this, Mr. Dexter speaks from the heart, and what he's saying is right. There is a lot of buildings in this same island, a tropical island that is already hot, and it's going to get hotter. That house groomed up house, children, everything else. That they have windows, but the windows can't open. And then you wonder, how do they pass these things? And a school that has six doors, but only one exit. What Mr. Dexter say, God forbid if it's a fire. Now, I must thank Mr. Brian, Minister Brian, for, he's the only one, him and Mr. Minister Panton, always got on the radio to speak to you. Now, every now and then we hear, I think it's once a month or so, or could be more times than that. The opposition, Joey Hugh and Mr. McTaggart on the radio, but that's the opposition. Now, we need to hear from the ministers themselves, if it's even once a month or once every 3 months, because they don't have any meetings to let the people know what's going on in these islands. So we got to assume everything we hear is true, because they do not have any meetings. And then if they do get on the radio, they try to, you said not to say any words, but they try to BS the people and think that every one of us don't have any sense. In a way, most of us don't have any sense by putting that X by some of their names every election, and then they be in for 30 and 40 years. You know what I mean? But Sandy, we need to the salary that they're getting. You've seen what Juliana was making. We haven't heard from her as the education minister of our children.
About nothing. No, the school fight. There have been so many issues.
Nothing. We got to put more demand on these people. We're paying them salaries that some people do not make in a year what they make in a month. So we need to put a demand. Don't let us have to protest, but we need to get more guts. And if we need to protest, let's do that. Because we're paying them. Let us don't forget that. Just not for them to favor like has happened down in West Bay. Let us not favor just special people that's going to sit on your fence from 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're the ones that is going to put that X, because they know they can get hands out of money, hands out of groceries, for anything that is needed, so they don't have to work, and then they can sit on West Bay Public Beach all day and still get their pizzas and their chicken and everything else bought in, while some people have to work so hard for that dollar. I can end there, because this sort of thing only gets me really angry and aggravated. You in the public's eye, of course you're gonna get criticized, even though you might be saying the right thing, but criticism comes along with it. So thank you very much again, Sandra.
Thanks so much, my dear. All right. Thank you very much. What a hot mess. 936-2626. Good grief. Oh, yeah. What a hot mess. Okay. Just have a look at some messages here. I don't know what to say. Let's read a few messages. Irvin says, one thing with KB, he will answer that call. Like I said, absolutely. Cameron says, Sandy, you fall out with Sabrina Turner? What? Nope. But I dare say what I think might be happening, Cameron, is a lot of these people now are operating under a new premier. The previous premier didn't tell them what they could do and who they could talk to. There was not level of control in place. In this instance, I personally believe that there is. Having said that, she's actually supposed to come on tomorrow's show to talk about something in her ministry. So I believe she's still coming on. She was actually away. But as far as I know, I think she's coming on tomorrow. I believe she's still, let me see now. So Monday was tight for the minister. So they're going to come on Wednesday. So, yes, so she should be on tomorrow. But I think there is with the changing of the leadership from PAC to UPM, I think that all of them are running scared now of Julie, if I had to be honest. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Sonny.
Morning, Alejandro.
You know, I don't know if I heard it right. Should we really protest? I'm not that type of person. I like watching protests and stuff like that, right? Because I mean, we're not living on an island that is third world or anything like that. But when you see it happening in first world countries and you see the way it happens, that really does, should bring attention to governments. But here in Cayman 2024, I don't know if you really would like to see a protest in Cayman. That's not really going to be the most compliant move.
Why not? I mean, we protested before.
Look, Sandy, when people are angry, they do things, right? And sometimes you do things in a blank state. You wouldn't even know what you did. You hear it or read the stories with the people in courts and all these things, and they don't even remember who did what they did, and what time it was in the morning or the evening.
What court? I missed that. Yeah. What court are you referring to?
I'm talking about when you explain to us how it goes in court. And we listen to you of all the excuses that people make to get away with the crimes that they do, but they're not sure about how it happened. So they don't really have any, justice in most cases, because people just say things because of traumas or whatever it is. I don't know, right? But Sandy, and I'm no psychologist here, right? All I'm saying is a protest in Cayman is not necessary.
Why not? We've had lots of protests that have always been very calm, cool, collected. In fact, the protest is what helped get the people, the government they voted in last time. Although that didn't last, right? I'm just saying.
Like you chat what a caller has said, where she say we always know how to live together before, right? But now it come in like as if they don't work for us anymore. They don't know who we are. They say they know who we are because they're Caymanians, but they don't live like Caymanians. I don't think they know how Caymanians live anymore. We have the schools going down right now with air condition problems. Yeah, maybe back then we had air condition problem too, but we wasn't as advanced as we are today. I was expecting we would be in this solar powered generation at this moment. I mean, the way how they were talking years ago, it almost seemed possible. Now it seemed like we gotta wait another 10 years before we can actually see something working like that, where we can have cordless fans working off of Wi-Fi charging ports that sending electricity current throughout the whole school or something, like something advanced. They're not thinking those ways, they want the system to fail so that they can keep repairing and getting people aggravated so that they can't learn.
Well, you know what happens when people get aggravated? They protest.
This is the thing. They don't think what they're protesting for. I understand we protesting, but we're gonna protest for them to do what we want them to do. They don't want to do it right now while we're peaceful. What make us think that if we gonna get when can't we go independent, first of all? Since we want to protest.
Because most people will tell you that that's not actually what they want to do, but what does that have to do with protesting?
Right. No, but you end up going to kick out a government if we don't even have a plan B. I don't know what our plan B is, son, if you could talk to us. You might throw out a government, but who we going to place back in?
All right. I'm just as befuddled as the rest of you. Let's just move on. Let's call the poor woman, poor Ting. She's been trying to reach us since Friday. Let's give her a chance. Let's hear another landlord issue. By the way, again, Mike, what's his name? This guy from Buy Smart. Some of you, we went into a little bit of overtime yesterday, so radio listeners might have missed it. I am, again, very, very clear about two things. Number one, all the long-standing issues that has taken you almost 6 months to try to sort out in relation to the facility, that's not my concern. Like, that's not where my criticism is. I know that things can happen with infrastructure. He sounds like he probably has the same workers as the government people trying to fix the AC. That's not the issue. The issue is you can't have staff employed, both Caymanians and work permit holders, and for 5 months you expect people to go inwards into 6 months without any salary or without any pay. And whatever salary or pay you claim you're giving them is an advancement on future work. That's not paying them for now. And so your so-called posts, and again, I remain very, very disappointed. And the people who were on the comment section told me, oh, we can't wait till you're open. We're going to come to the store, that ignored the point. This guy, Alan, whatever the heck his name is, he is not a good business person. He's not a good employer. Mike Allen, thank you very much. Mike, you're not a good business person. Okay, that is obvious. Your workers complain about how rude you are, how you speak to them, how you don't want to pay them. You're right. Your crockpot health insurance is always being turned down. Even when they're out sick, you're refusing to pay them as is stipulated per the labor law. The thing that I am sure about is that we have got to stop supporting businesses who treat people in this manner. Because you treat people in this manner and you must come to the Cayman Islands and have a successful business, and me as a Caymanian is going to go and support your business? I don't think so. This doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not going to support the business even if it was a Caymanian. We have got to have some standards in place. And so I do find it very, very interesting. Thanks, John LaRue, Michael Allen. I do find it very, very interesting that you can come here and probably some of the things that you're doing here in terms of your labor infractions, you would not be able to do in your home country of Canada. John keeps saying he's a good Canadian boy. That's none of my business. He's in the Cayman Islands operating a business in a manner that is against the labor laws of this country. And his workers are too afraid to speak up. And I want to be very clear. I don't care how many pages of a response, because he had more than a response on Facebook. He said, oh, he's not going to comment on our post. You don't have to comment on our post. We see your post, and we see your post full of lies. And so, sir, Mr. Michael Allen, this is problematic. It's problematic because no one told you that you not only have to respect the laws of the Cayman Islands, but you have to follow the laws of the Cayman Islands. So all of these excuses that you have in the book, it don't mean jack to me, because you're full of lies, right? And by extension, let's pull down his picture here. By extension, Mike, what you have done, talking about open letter to buy smart customers, what you have done in this letter is you have attempted to call CMR, not attempted, you are calling CMR a liar. And I don't like when people call me a liar when they're the ones who's actually the liar. Right? So I have seen staff pay slips. I can't show those publicly because as of yesterday after the show, you know what he was doing? He was trying to find out who is leaking me information. Why would you have to worry about that if what you said here is the truth? All office employees have been fully employed. They've been getting paid, this and that, blah, blah, blah. If all of this was the truth, Mike, why were you on an expedition yesterday trying to find out who told Sandy and guessing? And so I say to every single one of you, right, who are sitting back, believing these lies, commenting in the section about, oh, yeah, I can't wait till you open back up. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. So here's Kyle Creel. CMR is a joke as its administrator. She needs to be sued again. Tell him, Kyle, he claims that he's a microbiologist, studied at University of South Florida. Oh, my alma mater. Please tell him, and I'm going to comment right him, tell him to please sue me. I would love the challenge to prove him to be a liar in a court of law. Bring it. Bring it. Michael, whatever the heck your name is. What your name is again? What's his name? Michael Allen. Please sue me. Please sue me. Please sue me. Sue me with a bag of lies. John says he's being facetious. I was beginning to wonder, John. Do us all a favor and challenge me on this. Every single, all 27 of you that liked it, Natasha laughed. Bring it on. That's what I would tell you. Bring it on, because I have the evidence. Okay? So this man is a bold-faced liar. So come again. Let me put an angry emoji by Dacia Foster's comments. How much she can't wait till they open. Like, seriously. All right. If I'm a liar and you've been paying staff and I don't know what I'm talking about, by all means, the courthouse is right over there. So go ahead and file your documents, because when you file your documents, I will be able to file my documents, including pay slips from your staff. Wonk, wonk, wonk. And then the entire world will know why you couldn't go back on CMR and comment, why you had to go to your own page with a bag of lies. Michael, don't come to this country and treat people, all probably minimum wage workers, treat them like garbage. Don't do it. And again, the real question here is, where is enforcement? Where is WORC? Where is DLP? Why are you guys not going in there and asking to see some documentation? Because I can tell you what, if you start talking to his workers and you see their pay slips, wow. He talking about he's paying them? Wow. If that's the pay, I want to see what they were getting full time, because they're not even getting enough to pay a $200 bill if that's the case. He's a liar. He's told them, work, I'll give you some advance, and an advance is not considered salary like that. So I don't know what law he's trying to apply, right? He's going to pay them an advance salary, and then they deduct it from future work, which puts them in the hole. And naturally, these people recognize the difficulties of having to deal with that. They're like, Sandy, why are we going to do that? If we can't pay our bills now, why are we going to turn around and put ourselves in a hole? So, Michael Allen, get your ish together. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Rikisha Thompson.
Hi.
I have reached out to you and sent a text. I don't know if you have time and if you reply, look at it.
Not really, because I'm in the middle of a show, so I haven't as yet. Would you like to tell us what's going on?
Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, last week, Monday night, on the 11th of Monday, 7:20,
Mm-hmm.
I was walking on the road in Windsor Park when a dog run out of a yard and attacked me, a Rottweiler. Yeah. Bite me in my eye, my nose, my mouth, and on my leg.
Wow.
So some people rush with me to the hospital. And from there, the owner of the dog come there, and from there, I don't hear nothing from her. I have to buy my own medication. I have to stop from work.
So how bad were your injuries? You say the dog actually attacked you in the face?
Yeah, in my face. Bite me in my eye.
What?
And from my nose and in my mouth, and bite out piece of my gum.
Bite out piece of your what?
Bite out piece of my gum.
Oh my God. So the dog attacked you and you fell down and the dog then was attacking your face?
No, him push me, the dog. Him rush me and it was a car behind me. So him jump on me in my stomach and me just drop back from the car. So I go for my throat, so I hold on my head. And that's when him bite in my mouth.
Oh my God.
And then him go off of my eye.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if me never that try fight back, me that take out my eyeball, I think my face gone. Cause when the people them come down, me have to ask them if my face gone.
Oh my God. Wow.
And from that, me not hear nothing about it. Me go station, me not hear nothing about it. And me have to stay home right now, me sick. I hurt me yesterday, me have to leave work. Boss have to send me home to come home. Me can't work in peace. Me have to do. Me have to buy medication again.
So who do you say actually owns this dog? That you said the owner showed up at the hospital?
Yeah, she showed up at the hospital, and from that night, I don't see her again, and I don't hear nothing from her.
And what did she say to you when she showed up at the hospital? What did she say?
She said she's sorry what's happened. Yeah, she's sorry what's happened.
Sorry, not gonna cut it. Did she say I'll take care of your medical bills and stuff like that?
Yeah, she says I will pay for the hospital bill and buy medication. I don't hear nothing from her. Just that.
Did you get her name and number?
Yeah, she leave her name and her number.
All right. Can you WhatsApp me the number? Let's see if we can give her a call.
Yes, I will.
All right, dear. Wow, I'm so sorry to and I'll respond to your messages after the show, but I'm so sorry to hear that this has happened to you. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it to the court. Me tell the officer them.
Yeah, she has to be criminally charged. I mean, this is very, very serious. My God. As you say, that dog could have killed you.
IP and kill me.
My God.
Yeah, me can't work. Me have to do home and I feel BAP and BIP and head pain. Me have to go test my eye yesterday. Me have to buy more antibiotic, more medication. Me have to spend and buy and stay home. Me can't work because of the dog will bite me up.
Wow.
And nobody now reach out to me. So I'm gonna try to get one lawyer and say me can put.
Yes, in fact, it's funny you should say that because somebody just said to me that sounds like a recover issue. We have some lawyers that come on the show all the time and they do personal injury. So I'm gonna give them your WhatsApp number and you should definitely speak with them.
Yeah, I will love that, Miss Sandra. I appreciate that.
Yes, all
right.
right.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yes, my God, what a mess. All right, my dear.
Yeah.
Hope that you feel better. And this is an issue that we need to continue to have very serious dialogue on. So I'm going to try to reach out. I had heard something about it, and when I spoke to animal welfare people, they said nothing was reported to them, so they didn't know anything about it. So I'm very, very surprised because I had heard it. I heard it from last week. And I wasn't able to get any confirmations on it at all. In fact, let me tell you which day last week I heard it. I think it was earlier in the week. I heard it on Thursday. This person said, "Morning. Did you hear anything about the lady that got bitten by the dog? I know it's true. I had a family member in the ER when she arrived at the hospital."
Yeah, because I was.
And that was, I actually got the first message about it on the 12th. And then the person followed up with that saying that they're hearing that it's true. That you almost got your face bitten off by a dog in Windsor Park.
Yeah, in Windsor Park, the dog escaped out of the yard and she carried the dog her body tone. She carried her hide. She gone with the dog her body tone with the dog.
Boughton Town with the dog? No. That dog should have been confiscated and put to sleep. I'm sorry, but you can't have a dog who viciously attacks.
My boss say I should do a blood test. She said I need to get a blood test.
Oh my God. The police need to do something about this dog. The dog needs to be put down, first of all.
Yeah, because the dog's not put down. Everybody around there in the community says she gone with the dog and hide the dog. And the dog not put down.
Send me her number. Send me her number.
Okay.
All right, darling. Okay, good.
All right.
Lord Jesus. These situations legitimately give me a headache. I mean, y'all got to do better. First of all, now, regardless of what the situation is with the dog has to be put down. And I'm going to be very, very clear about this because I've had not a dog attack me, but a dog attack my dog and kill my dog. Anytime a dog has blood on its mouth, by either attacking another dog or attacking a person, you're going to have to put the dog down. It's going to happen again. It's only a question of opportunity. And if opportunity presents itself, it will happen again. And for the record, any dog that even attacks another dog unprovoked is more likely to attack humans. This dog attacked a person. How on earth is it possible that this woman, the police did not arrest her, have not confiscated the dog, to the point where she was then permitted to go and hide the dog? I know well. You see, this is why people want to take things into their own hands, because they're not being handled properly. Let's call the dog owner. Her name is Colleen Cummings. Don't know who she is, but let's find out what she has to say for herself. Imagine if that was a child.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Lord Jesus. Wow. Y'all have got to do better. I mean, if you want to own a dog, you've got to be responsible with your dogs. If you can't control a dog, don't have the dog. Give the dog up to the Humane Society or somebody else. And what you'll find is a lot of times these dogs cannot be controlled no matter what you do. And they do have to be euthanized. I hate to say it, but not every single dog can be rehabilitated. I've seen it before. Where the best trainers in the world are like, there's nothing that we can do. Wickedness on all levels, says Jeffrey. Let's give this poor lady a call back. Poor thing. She only got 5 minutes on air, but we'll give her a little bit of overtime on the show.
You have reached the voicemail box of 34.
Yes, ma'am. That was me calling you on the other line. Hello. Good morning, honey child.
Good morning again, Miss Sandra.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Yes, I have an ongoing situation with this landlord at Prospect 351 Marina Drive. Apparently, I live at the house for 1 year. I moved in like 1st of March, and then by living there, I realized when the light bill comes, because we have a meter for the 2 room that rented, but we have 2 sub meters. So when the bills come, we always we take the picture of the meters and then multiply it and give split the bills. However, she's not doing that. So I asked her, she just wants to tell us what to pay. So I tell her it cannot work like that. Anyway, she's been upset with me since. Anyway, I've been living there, and then we're there until I realized that the closet I'd pull out of the wall. So I tell her that I don't know what happened. Come and look, the closet pull out of the wall. She said, I don't have any money, get somebody fix it. I get somebody to fix it. When the person fixing it, the person said to me that the wall is rotten. It needs to repaired. Okay, she didn't have any money. So, because places are to get, I live there and on and on and on. Anyway, the next room was rented. So when the gentleman moved in, the gentleman realized that it is infected by with lice. So that was it. So it come on and on again that we're under the sink. It pull out. It just pull off. So I call her and I show her, and she said she needs to repair the place. Anyway, she gives me notice on in January to live on the 1st of March. So, however, I get a place and I decide to move out. Anyway, I said to her, the rent for February, you have $1,300 for me for the deposit. Let me just live out this February because it is hard and to get place and all of that. And she behaved and she go on. I went to church, and when I come from church, there's no water. When I checked, she put a padlock on the meter. Anyway, she changed the door locks, and I asked her for the key. She said, no, she's not giving the key. The back door cannot be locked. I had to put things behind it to secure myself. I went to the police. I didn't get a fair response. They're telling me it's landlord and tenant issue. And I have to pay her the rent.
1 second for me, honey child. One second. One second.
Okay.
I just want to inform our listeners something I have just discovered in relation to the dog attack. I am shocked at this bit of information. Do y'all know I didn't realize, I didn't recognize the name because, you know, we call so many people, whatever. Colleen, what last name is again? She is the person, Cummings, who we had on the show before with the farmer guy who was complaining that he was working her to death and she wasn't getting paid. She works in the AG's office. What? Cummings, I am shocked till I can't shock no more. That's the same woman? Work for government, have somebody bite your dog, and now you're trying to hide the dog? Remember she's doing her articles at the AG's office? Lord Jehovah, me can't even. Oh my God. Miss, can I call you back tomorrow? I hate to put you off another day, but I promise you're going to be the first call I make tomorrow. All right?
Okay.
All right, because it sounds like your story kind of long and involved. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. This is the same woman. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. Radio folks, tune in to the after. We're going to do a little bit of an after show here this morning. Those of you who don't like profanity, please log off now because I don't want to hear your complaints. I do not want to hear a word of complaint from the peanut gallery because I might use a few choice words this morning. Hallelujah. Radio folks, have a beautiful day. Excuse me. I am in such a state of shock. I see y'all messaging me saying, but Sandy, this is Colleen. What the fuck? I'm sorry. There are times when I am so shocked and surprised. The only word that can come out of my mouth, give me a replacement. Those of you who say, Sandy, I don't want you cussing. Okay, give me a replacement for WTF. What else conveys it just right? Give me, I'll take any nominations. I'm shocked. What the hell? Jesus peace. Oh my God. No, man. Somebody say you sus Christ. Is that any better? All right, sus Christ. What the hell is going on around you? But you see, I keep telling y'all this, you know. When you see somebody who doesn't respect this law over here, doesn't respect that person over there, don't kid yourself. These are not good people. I don't care what nobody want to say. They be defending him. Oh, that administrator over on Mall Road, go see her. Come, bitch. I welcome the lawsuit. Because you see, when you're not a good person, it exhibits itself in a lot of different ways. Jeez, some peace. Colleen, you work for government. You work for government. Oh my God. What the actual Sus Christ just not doing it for me yet today. Wow. Oh my God. Seriously? Wow. My mind is blown. You gotta see this woman's injuries. She just sent me pictures. Oh my God. Colleen, you better turn that dog into the police and they need to euthanize that dog. Wow. You see, this is why people go around poisoning y'all dogs. And I would never advocate doing this sort of thing, but I can understand why people feel like they have no other choice. I reached out to the Department of Agriculture, Animal Control. They don't know nothing about it. That means the police have not informed them. And their animal control, they're the ones who would go and collect the dog. So if they don't know this dog is out there roaming around Town or wherever the hell she's trying to hide it, in order for the dog to attack other people. And the next person could very well be a child. It could be your child. Colleen, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is so irresponsible. If I had a dog that did this to anybody, let me show y'all this woman's injuries this morning. Nobody would have to ask me to put this dog down. This dog, I would volunteer as much as I might love my dog. This is an indication that this dog is dangerous to people. Oh my God. What is wrong with you people? Jeez, peace. You must sue this woman, Ross, yes. Sue her. Sure. Morning, caller.
But Sandra, them types of dogs are dangerous dogs, and I think they were one type that were banned from this island. I didn't even know they
not
had them.
Everybody can handle these dogs, and that's why you should not have them.
Police told me when the pit bull dog had rushed me that I called the police about it. They tell the woman, but them types of, and I think that's worse than a pit, or just bad a pit bull. And she tell her, dogs can't be rushing out on government roads, biting people. She had to, because her place fence wrong, as she wanted the dog loose, she had to keep the gate locked.
Hello.
Or chain the dog with heavy chain, because anyhow the dog had bite anybody, that she won't be in serious trouble. She won't have to pay all that expense, and the dog won't be put down. So that dog needs to be put down. Yes, like you said, because he bit once, he got bite again. And that's a dangerous. Suppose that was a small child, he could have killed that woman, and suppose that was a small child he had jump on, he was gonna eat them. And you hear she say jump for her throat. That's them and the pit bull. That's what they jump for. That's a dangerous.
Trust me. Thank you,
That's
caller.
why I do go walk more. I used to walk, but I tell them, I say, man, got 4 cities in Applehead just like dogs city too, because every way you go, you hear dogs rushing up on you, and you have to be picking up rocks and stuff, and then some of them, they if you look at them, they'll run back, but other ones chase you, and you got to be walking, and then you'll get killed by car too, because walking, not looking front, looking back at the dog and car coming. So that's dangerous. That's serious.
Thank you, caller. My God. No man. Y'all are irresponsible. Y'all are irresponsible. If this dog had killed this woman, Colleen, what the fuck would you be saying yet today? Would you still be hiding the dog in Town? Give the dog up to the authorities. Y'all, listen to me. I can call the AG's office here this morning. Let me see what the hell's going on. No, man. This kind of behavior, not acceptable. Not acceptable, none at all. Morning, caller. Hello?
Yeah, Sonny.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was working in Humane Society.
Somebody says it's not the first time her dog has done this. Wow.
Well, this is the thing now, right? When I was working in Humane Society, right, and you get a report of an animal attacking another animal, say it was a dog fight or something like that, right? And we go out to help the person that make the complaint to get the problem solved. The police is called, and majority of the time the police would have to deal with the situation after we deal with the animal or something like this, right?
By the way, the kids they're in the comment section on Instagram saying, "Dear Sandra, please tell Clifton Hunter to send us home." And it's still, the AC still not working, and it's now 10:38.
You imagine that, man, and they're gonna end up telling the parents they must go and pick up their child in the street because the bus is gonna be
they claim that they would have a decision by 10 o'clock, but obviously the children's still there suffering.
Listen, this boy, you see, this is the reason why I don't trust in my government, and not like they're not doing anything, they're doing too much. They just have so much on their damn hands, and I don't know how they coping with it, right? But you gotta take a lot of anxiety pills for that, right? And boy, you see those children, I feel bad for them because I'm pretty sure that they want to go to school, they want to do their things, and they just like until all of these problems with the parents are aggravated by what the government friggin' doing.
Alejandro, let me call this woman and see if she can answer the phone.
Yeah, man, do your thing, my son.
All right, cool. Lord Jesus. I'm gonna have to check my pressure yet today. Because I can tell you one thing. If that dog had bit me like that, I killing the owner and the dog. I tell you straight up. Look at this. Look how the woman face all mess up. Like, what the hell? You know how scary this must have been? Even up on the woman's mouth, you know? Oh my God. What the fuck? No, man. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Colleen, what the hell? Seriously? They're not answering the phone over there either. Slackness. Let's try another number. No, man, these people are ridiculous. These people are absolutely ridiculous. Clifton Hunter, send the children home, please. At this stage.
Good morning, Portfolio Legal Affairs.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. Which office is this?
Portfolio of Legal Affairs.
Okay, can I have Miss Colleen Cummings, please?
She's actually not available at the moment. She's in a meeting.
Oh, I hope she's in a meeting getting fired, honey child. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh.
Thank you, dear. In a meeting. That better be a firing meeting because this girl not easy. She worked for the AG's office. Let's call this woman back because the police. I want to know, what have the police done? Hello, caller? Yes, boss. What's up? What's up?
Listen, let me tell you something. They trying to kill us now, you know, Sandra?
Oh, Lord Jesus. What are they saying?
They told us we was leaving at 10 if it don't fix. And
yeah.
No, we don't. It makes it hot. We don't dying. It hot. Everybody sweating. It raining.
Listen. I'm gonna send me a quick WhatsApp message. I'm gonna send you a link, and I want you guys to do a video call because I want to see exactly what's going on.
Miss.
All right. Now they're not gonna make these children get in trouble. You're not gonna poor little children calling out for help. They must be able to resolve this, man. Come on now. This is ridiculous. Send the children home. Oh my God. I can't even this morning. What a hot mess. The dog and the owner need to be put down, says this person, waiting for our children to faint. Call the RCIPS. Oh my God. Hold on, I want to understand what the police have done. Because this sounds like police slackness once again. Hello.
Hello.
One question for you. The police took down your information. Have you not heard anything from them?
No, I not heard nothing from them, but from that, nothing. Every time I have to go to the station. Every time I have to left and Windsor Park, walk out there. I was Sunday night, I walk out there. I still can't get nothing. I can't heard from none of them, or even the police. They take the statement from me. I go out there every minute, me and Mr. Morgan. I can't get to him all now. Nobody no check for me. Nobody no say nothing to me. Even my boss, or my work with, I said that can't go like that. You need to reach out. It can't go like that. I have to come off our work yesterday sick. I forgot to do make doctor look for my eye yesterday. Sick.
My God.
I feel pain like me a drop down and my co-worker them have to carry me to hospital. See that them in the home, me have to the home take medication, much pill, much antibiotic.
Lord Jesus.
The eye, me I feel the eye pain to my head back.
Somebody said that she's connected to the Attorney General's office. So of course, the police not pursuing it. All right, Miss, may I call you after the show? Give me a little bit of time today.
Okay.
All right, my dear.
Okay.
All right, dear. This is not acceptable. I'm sorry, but this is not acceptable. Siobhan says it best. Siobhan Berry says, too much whatless fuckery there, and it need to stop. Couldn't have said that better myself. So Colleen was featured before in the show for having a farm and not paying the guy. Remember, she had every excuse. Oh, she's a small business owner, and I must understand it. I don't understand slackness. I don't understand fuckeridge when it comes to people. Let me come off this show here today, because God knows if I continue, it's not gonna be pretty. It really not gonna be good. I'm going up to Clifton Hunter to check on the children. Yep, I'm putting on my pants, and I'm going up there right now. They claim the problem fixed, but don't look like the problem fixed based on the video that I just received. What a bunch of donkeys. I'm coming. Tell the children I'm coming. I'm coming up there. I'm coming. We're going to prioritize the children first. And then I'm going to get to Colleen. And then I need to go and do a work-related interview at 1 o'clock. So this is what I was sent. This look like the problem fixed. This look like people like AC fixed. If this is what is going on now in real time. Seriously? This is fixed. That look like it fixed. You're still digging a hole in the friggin' ground. All right. Let me put on, I said I put on my clothes. By the way, I am wearing pants. I'm just not wearing the right pants. I put on my look here. I put on my little, let me show y'all. Let me see. I think I have to back up. I put on my little comfortable, like, what do you call these? I don't know. The comfortable ones. And then I change these off to put on a proper outfit to go out in public. See the video there? Lord Jehovah. Somebody said you made me burst out laughing. I hear fuckeridge in a minute. I dead. And I hear that word in a second. Honey Shell, I don't know what other word to describe it. No, sir. Your hand says, I don't understand fuckeridge, Auntie Sandy. I don't. I really and truly don't. All right. Let me go. All right. Clifton Hunter, I'll come in. Children, hold on. Parents, get ready to pick up your children because this is ridiculous now. I'll probably do a live stream. I see it look like it can rain. So let me get out of the studio and get going. And then I'm going to go talk to this poor woman about this Colleen situation. Colleen, go turn in your dogs, please. Go turn in the dog. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. I know you're rushed to get to something else. And I'm looking at tree roots. What kind of plumbers are they putting down pipes amongst tree roots?
Well, I don't know, honey child. I'm no engineering expert in terms of where to put it, but
I can tell you that tree roots will destroy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a problem again. Another year, the pipes will be broken again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what,
we're in a hot mess.
We're in one hell of a serious mess, you know.
And let me say this: one listener to the program, he's in the architectural design area. He said that there's no greater fire hazard at the school than any other office building because they have fire alarms and fire suppression, so they don't need open windows. And he didn't want parents to be panicking unnecessarily. He says every structure has a minimum number of exits per room based on maximum occupancy. I can assure you that there's sufficient exits as per the code. There are multiple layers of fire suppression that when working collectively is globally accepted. Hopefully they're working collectively. It never ceases to amaze me how qualified professionals would plant trees, to your point, bare to or near to or over the AC lines on any other lines. You can't get government work because I guess I don't have a degree. Yet I can't get government work because I don't have a degree. Yeah, they need a degree in common sense is what they need.
Yeah. I mean, you don't put large trees, which is
that have deep roots like that.
The foundation, they're gonna go into the road and under the pipes. Pipes will be broken. Common sense will take it up. Ain't no common sense, not common these days.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get out to Clifton Hunter and see what's going on, honey.
Oh, okay.
All right, darling. All righty. Bye. All right, folks. Let me take a ride out today. We go east first, and then we go Georgetown, and then after that, we're gonna do another interview in town. So we got a full afternoon. Y'all try to behave yourselves. We need to have a slogan called "Stop the Fuckridge." Buy smart, you stop it. Pay your staff. You should have to go back and pay them for the past 5 months, sir. Okay, Colleen, I've had enough of you. I have had enough of you. You can deal with that situation. All right. Popo, get your shit together. People messaging me, but I must start my own police force because y'all not doing your job. I'm not here for that. I'll help you all, but get it together. Why is this over a week and the woman not been contacted yet? All right. Tomorrow, folks, we got a show. Make sure y'all tune in early because the first thing we're going to do is call that poor woman, poor thing. She can't get her story finished all now. It sounds like a long and involved one too. So we'll get her sorted out. And then we have a K-Man Voices interview that you do not want to miss with a 95-year-old. So please tune in for that segment as well. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.